and also more momentum going into this competition.
Yeah, you mentioned the big names coming back in. How good is it to have the likes of Josh Butler, Phil Salt, Saqib Mahmood back in the side now, along with Liam Livingstone?
Look, it's fantastic, isn't it? I bet it's an interesting one to manage for the coaching staff when managing players that's been playing that they're having to leave out for some of these England internationals. But as a whole, I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's fantastic for the people that are here today, fantastic for the team, because the experience, the ability, the skills that those players that you've mentioned bring into the team is absolutely fantastic.
It is a squad game though, isn't it? And it has to be balanced, and if you've got the best players there available for you, you have to play them, don't you?
Absolutely, and that's the key, isn't it? The game's about winning games of cricket, isn't it? So they absolutely need to play, and they absolutely complement any team and any squad. I think what is important that those younger players that are just missing out are just picking up little bits and pieces and learning as much as they can from those international players.
And when you look at the experience that some of those players have got, if you're a young player, you're going to be soaking that up like a sponge as much as you possibly can.
Yeah, for sure. You'd be on the end of every word, wouldn't you? You'd be sat there having a coffee, listening, talking, bouncing off each other, being in and around them at training, and just picking up any little bits of information and detail that you can to help your game develop as an individual and become a real high-quality player too.
Just to illustrate how important those players were in that victory, in particular last night, that partnership of 123 between Phil Salt and Josh Butler, that's the kind of thing that dreams are made of if you're the home coach in a game like this.
Oh, absolutely, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? But it's also laying the foundation for the win. If they lose a wicket quite early on, then it's a little bit tougher, but they're still building and building and building and playing the exciting brand of cricket that they can, and also playing some percentage cricket within that to ensure they get another line is really important for the team, the competition, and those younger players learning how to play the game like their idols.
And then when you've got Saqib Mahmood, who can turn up and get a hat-trick for the last 3 wickets, I mean, that was something very special as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had a great night, couldn't he? But when he woke up this morning, he couldn't believe it, whether it was a dream or not. But what a fantastic performance, and they'll be wanting to, put in a good performance here again today. But don't underestimate Derbyshire. They've got a fantastic coach in Mickey Arthur, the experienced Mickey Arthur, former South Africa, very successful coach at South Africa, coached Australia, done a lot of franchise cricket, and there's some good players in this side, so it won't be an easy game today. Lancashire will have to play well, and I'm sure that Derbyshire will be really up for a really good contest today.
They have picked up a couple of victories rather, and certainly not the sort of side that will be coming here just to make up the numbers, that is for sure. So we're looking forward to what could be a great game. We're all keeping our eyes on what's going on behind us as well for the captains to turn up in a little while. We'll find out who bats and who bowls first. Now obviously, if Lancashire bowling first, then that makes things a little bit more exciting for everybody here in the bowl at Emirates Old Trafford, because we have the return of the Emirates first ball flyer. Now if a wicket is taken by the first ball of the first Lancashire bowler, then somebody in this bowl could be getting 2 tickets to Dubai. You'd fancy a couple of weeks in Dubai, wouldn't you?
Not half.
So keep an eye out for that one. If Lancashire bowl first, keep your eyes out to see who is bowling first for Lancashire, and somebody here could be on the way to Dubai with the Emirates first ball flyer. All that to come in a few minutes time, but first of all, let's have a little look back at that incredible statement victory last night. So, ladies and gentlemen, an opportunity for somebody here at Emirates Old Trafford to get an upgrade on their seats, because we have the opportunity for you to be moved into the Sports Break Terrace and get some of the best seats in the house. Who fancies getting some of the best seats in the house here? Give us a cheer if you fancy getting some of the best seats in the house. Okay, right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move our cameras around the Emirates Old Trafford Bowl and hopefully pick out somebody who is going to get an upgrade to the Sports Break Terrace. So have a look at the big screen and let's see exactly where our cameras are going to be pointing. So here we go. Here we go. The cameras are going to be moving around now. Give us a big wave if you fancy. There we go. Right, I think that's underneath the point. So you two, give us a big wave. There we go. That's it. Fantastic. So there we go. Our guys are going to come over to you and move you from where you are into the best seats in the house, courtesy of Sports Break. Give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic stuff. Two of you being moved over into the Sports Break Terrace. There'll be comfy seats, there'll be drinks, there'll be all kinds of things. So enjoy yourselves in there. Give us a big wave to the big screen again once more, you guys. And enjoy yourselves in the Sports Break Terrace.
(1864). We were first class then, and we're first class now. With a dream to spread cricket through Lancashire's towns, where girls and boys, with willow and leather, become more than a badge, but the red rose together.
A club where more than legends are made, but friendships, obsessions, moments replayed on our screens, in our minds, in our hearts forever. Because it's who we are, our DNA, the red rose together.
Statham, Briggs, Jimmy, Freddie and Joss, Chappie, Sir Clive Lloyd, Carol Hodges, Kate Cross. What a roll call. It's a hard one to measure, with future names still to be written on the red rose together.
We're all about people. It's what the red rose really means. Yeah, the ones signing autographs, but the ones behind the scenes,
Our community, grassroots, the ones that feel tethered. Whether you're from here or belong here, we're the Red Rose together.
And what about this place? Talk about world-class venues, internationals, gigs, events. You can choose from a menu of triumph, of disaster, of pain, or pleasure.
We've seen it all at Emirates Old Trafford, with the Red Rose together.
Red ball, white ball, lightning and thunder.
Have you ever sat back? Have you ever just wondered how far we've come? The storms we've weathered, or how far we'll go as the Red Rose together. You know, this is one that Lancs would feel they have to win. Got to win this game, get back to winning ways.
Every game is a new game. You need to make sure you arrive and play good cricket.
When I was a kid, there was no professional women's cricket. I didn't even think that women could be professional sports people.
Especially early on, it just didn't really seem like there was a career in it.
To support myself around cricket, I had to work at the petrol garage.
I was the only girl, so I stood out.
I'd love for young girls to be able to dream about being an athlete and it to be achievable.
Thanks to the Hilton funding my contract, it's allowed me to play the game that I love all day, every day.
We're like an engine and we need to be fueled with the right gas.
Without funding, we can't be visible. You can't be what you can't see.
As a team, it feels like we're breaking boundaries.
Thunder and Lancashire always want to put women's cricket at the forefront, and now I think that's really shining through.
It's mad to think that without the Hilton funding, like, we wouldn't be playing cricket every day, training.
Well, we could be, but we wouldn't have any money.
We wouldn't, yeah, true.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary.
So the two captains are about to toss the coin and find out who bats and who bowls here at Emirates Old Trafford. A warm welcome, by the way, to our friends at C&C Insurance, who are our match sponsors here this afternoon. So they're going to be getting their pictures taken with the captains in a little while. I'm just keeping my eye out on what's going on behind us as Keaton Jennings and Samit Patel look over the team sheets. Some interesting selection dilemmas perhaps this afternoon for both sides, I would have thought.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, both have got pretty strong sides, but they'll have some dilemmas. There's always a dilemma overnight. The thinking might change, or someone might be out of form. So I think I'll have some good conversations overnight and getting the teams ready for what they think is going to be, a really good game here today.
A really important game as well, because obviously Lancashire want to try and put the pressure on at the top of the table.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's three teams on 24 points. Lancashire really well positioned. Great win last night. They'll want to continue that momentum and really push on. But don't underestimate this Derbyshire side. I think they're a good side. I think they're well coached. Some good young players in there, but also they've got Madsen and Patel in there. Great experience. I think they'll be a really tough opposition today.
Right, the coin's been tossed. Let's have a look and see what's going on. The hands have been shaken. Let's see. Let's get the photographs sorted out first of all before we speak to Keaton and Samit. So who's won the toss? Let's find out. Samit's here with us now. Samit, you've won the toss, is that right?
Yeah, we're going to have a ball first.
You're going to have a ball first. What's the thinking behind that decision?
There's a bit of weather about, and hopefully it's a good pitch and we can chase it.
It's not been the best of competitions for you so far. How difficult has it been this year for everybody?
Yeah, it's tough. I think that we've got to play some good cricket starting now and wipe the slate clean, so yeah.
Having said that, as I say, every game brings a different challenge, doesn't it? You guys will be up for this.
Yeah, as for every other game. I think we've got to play some good cricket, like I said. With a strong team in lengths, and hopefully we'll put on a good performance.
And you've got some great players in your side. Fingers crossed you can put on a decent performance this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got some nice players, and hopefully we can put on a good show.
Go well today. Thanks very much indeed, Samit. Let's bring in Keaton. Statement win for you guys last night. That was huge. Everybody seems to be playing with real confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a really good performance by the boys. Good to come back up with 4 points and on to today.
How good is it to have some of your England internationals back as well?
Yeah, huge. It's kind of world superstars, which is amazing. There's a lot of experience, a few grey hairs in the room, which is amazing. And hopefully the younger lads are learning a whole bunch from it, including myself.
Second of 2 games. Derbyshire haven't gone quite so well in this competition, but you can't afford to overlook them at all, can you?
No, not at all. I think every side can beat anybody on their given day. We need to make sure we come today, play some really good cricket, and enjoy playing in front of a home crowd.
Go well today, Keaton. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. So there you have it. Derbyshire won the toss. They've decided to have a bowl. What do you make to that decision, Paul?
Yeah, I think it's a good decision because I don't think they're sure about the pitch, so they're thinking let's have a good ball, let's field well, bowl really good areas, get some wickets, put pressure on, and try and keep them to a fairly low total, and then the Derbyshire will then know what they're chasing. So completely understandable, and I think that's a fair decision.
We'll see what happens. It should be a really exciting game. The Vitality T20 Blast is back at Emirates Old Trafford. Here's a little reminder of the rules.
Each match is played by 2 teams of 11 players. Some are batters, some are bowlers, and there's 1 wicket-keeper. Both teams have a chance to bat and bowl. Look out for the coin toss. That's how they decide which team bats or bowls first. Each team has 20 overs to score as many runs as possible. The team with the most runs wins the game. 1 over is made up of 6 good deliveries from the bowler. To score runs, batters hit the ball and run between the stumps. If the ball reaches the boundary, it's 4 runs, and if it gets there without bouncing, that's a 6. While the batting team is scoring runs, the bowling team are trying to stop them and get the batters out by taking wickets. A few ways batters can be out are bowled, caught, run out, stumped, and LBW. Watch out for signals from the umpires, 4s, 6s, wickets, and these when a bad delivery has been bowled. Bad deliveries add runs to the batting team's score, and the bowler must bowl an extra ball. If you see the umpire doing this, the next ball is a free hit, and the batter cannot be out, bowled, caught, LBW, or stumped. And those are all the basics you need to know to get behind your team in this year's Vitality Blast competition.
So, as you've heard, Derbyshire Falcons have won the toss and have elected to bowl. The team sheets are in, and our visitors this afternoon line up as follows. Anurin Donald, Caleb Jewell, David Lloyd, Wayne Madsen, Samit Patel, the captain, Ross Whiteley, Martin Anderson, Zach Chappell, Ben Aitchison, Pat Brown, and Mohamed Alar Ghazanfar. And your Lancashire Lightning team this afternoon is as follows. Captain Keaton Jennings, Phil Salt, Josh Butler, Liam Livingston, Luke Wells, Ashton Turner, Michael Jones, Chris Green, Jack Blatherwick, Luke Wood, and Shakib Mahmood. So just the one change from the side that won last night, Paul, that being James Anderson, who looks like he's probably taking a little bit of a blow after what's been a really busy period for him, but still a very, very strong lineup for Lancashire this afternoon.
Yeah, look, on paper, I think that's a really strong side, isn't it? You look from top to bottom, all the way through the spine of the team. They've got that experience, they've got internationals, they've got all bases covered as well, with bat, with ball, and in the field. So it looks a really strong side. So they'll be looking to put a really good performance in here today and back up the statement win that they had yesterday evening.
Samit Patel choosing to bowl first, which I thought was an interesting move. Given the way things are here at the moment, it's still very overcast. It's going to be a pretty crucial decision for the women's game a little bit earlier. So he's maybe got first blood there, has he?
Look, I think it's a good decision. I think there's some doubt around the pitch, how it's going to play, the weather conditions. It might just seam around, it might swing around a little bit. So I think he's thought there, let's just have a really good ball, let's limit the Lancashire Lightning team to whatever we can, and let's know what we're chasing and know how we come about the game, and we'll know about the pitch. So I think it's a wise decision.
Yeah, Lancashire have previously, in most cases, like to go on chase if they possibly can after being fielding for the first innings, but the boot's on the other foot a little bit. But given the way they played last night, they'll have taken a huge amount of confidence from that, won't they?
Oh, absolutely. Everyone in that side performed last night, didn't they? And they'll take lots of confidence from that, belief from that, and know that they're in really, really good form. And not just the England internationals. Wales came in and scored some quick runs, I think, 15 or 16 in just 9 deliveries. So from their perspective, I think they've got, again, Lancashire have got all bases covered, so they'll not be too upset around batting first today. I think if they'd have won the toss, they would have bowled probably. But they know the angles, they know the pitch, they know this ground. It's their stadium, it's their home ground, it's Emirates Old Trafford. This is about our Lancashire Lightning trying to get a win today.
As we say, Derbyshire not had a great campaign in this competition so far, but still a decent side and could be a potential banana skin.
Yeah, I think so. I think underestimate these at your peril. I think they've got a very experienced coaching staff with a very experienced head coach in Mickey Arthur. They've got good experience in the team, and I'm not looking past at this stage Wayne Madsen, Samit Patel, both very experienced performers, good cricketers, lots of experience, lots of insight, and they're actually the heartbeat of this team because they've got some good other performers in this team as well. But those two kind of steer the ship, so if those two play well tonight, could be a really tough game for Lancashire.
Should be a really, really interesting game. We're all looking forward to it. Scott, over to you.
Join us, yeah, thank you, Fraser. Bumble and myself, Scott, up in the commentary box here. Just been chatting about the Lancashire Lightning side. The one change, Jimmy's out, Jones is in. So they've strengthened their batting, David. Potentially knowing that they've got 3 frontline spinning options as well with Livingston, Wells and Green.
Yeah, and the 3 quicks are Shakib, Wood and Blatherwick. So they've got good options there. And again, when you look with 3 spinners, what's the boundary like? They've pushed it right back. It's still not to the very, very end of the grass, but that would be because of health and safety. You can't go crashing into the boards. But they try to use as much of the ground as they can, except towards the party stand where there's probably about 30 or 40 metres, 30 metres to the end of the grass. So it's still a big enough boundary to play 3 spinners and justify 3 spinners.
For viewers on Lax TV, just looking at Tom Hartley there, I mean, he did play last night, he's not playing today. I mean, it is quite a tough team to get into, isn't it, when everyone's available?
Yeah, Matty Hurst doesn't play, Tom Hartley doesn't play, Jimmy Anderson doesn't play. So just to read the team, Keaton Jennings and Phil Salt will open, Josh Butler, Liam Livingston, Ashton Turner, Luke Wells, Michael Jones. Michael Jones is in decent form. Watched him play down at Chesterfield. Chris Green scored a century down at Chesterfield, red ball. Blatherwick can give it a bit of a tongue, as can Luke Wood. And Sakib, he'll be upset. Sakib is at number 11.
Fresh from his very first professional hat-trick last night for Sakib Amir. He said he's had 2 in 2, he reckoned 4 or 5 times in the last 12 months, he says. But that's his first professional hat-trick last night.
I didn't know he got a hat-trick last night. Did he get a hat-trick? Good on him.
He did. He got a hat-trick at North. So the Northamptonshire innings last night finished with 4 wickets in 4 balls. It started with a run-out.
Yeah.
And then the final 3 deliveries of the innings were all off the bowling of Mahmood. So his first professional hat-trick. Quiz question for you. Do you know who the last Lancashire bowler was to get a hat-trick in T20 cricket? I'll give you a clue. I'll give you a couple of clues. I'll give you one clue. 24 years ago.
Cork.
Dominic Cork,
yeah.
hat-trick for Lancashire Lightning against the Notts Outlaws here at Old Trafford. That was 24 years ago.
No.
Guess who was playing in the game 24 years ago and also was playing in the game last night?
Well, it's got to be Anderson.
It was. It's ridiculous, isn't it? So Jimmy's playing in both games where Lancashire bowlers have picked up T20 hat-tricks 24 years apart.
Well, we were at a function last week and Jimmy was there. He was being interviewed by Paul Allen. And he stopped the interview, Jimmy, and said to Paul, who's a brilliant interviewer, he's so good, he said, will you stop mentioning my age? He said, I'm not interested how old I am. He said, my body gets through anything that I need to do. I'm bowling so well. Why do I play? Because I like it. He said, and the moment I wake up and don't like it, I'll tell somebody and I won't play again. He said, but I love playing cricket. I love the challenge. Don't mention my age. Right, okay.
Move on.
Yeah, move on.
Derbyshire Falcons tonight. They've got Donald, Jewel, Anderson, Madsen. He's a wily old fox, isn't he? Samit Patel, Brooke Guest, Ross Whiteley, Zach Chappell, Mohammed Ghazamfar, who's an Afghanistan mystery spinner. Ben Aitchison and Pat Brown make up the Derbyshire side.
Well, they've got some firepower, I can tell you that. Samit Patel, Brooke Guest, Ross Whiteley, and Pat Brown comes into their team as well, who played for England in T20 cricket and has got a little bit of pace, was at Worcestershire. Not to be underestimated, this team. You still have to have your A game. We talk about all the great players that are in Lancashire's team. It counts for nothing if you're off colour. You've got to have your A game, particularly in T20, because they can beat each other. You saw Northants last night got off to a flyer. First 6 matches they've won, they've lost the last 3. And that's the way that it goes in T20. You've got to keep that winning habit. How do you do that? By all of you collectively, the collective team, playing at the very best.
Derbyshire are bottom of the group campaign, so does that make them a good side to face, or does that make them a dangerous side to face? Because effectively they've got, you know, they've nothing to lose here. It's unlikely they're going to qualify. Do they allowed to play with freedom and all that type of thing?
Well, looking at that team that they've got, I don't think they're that bad. I really don't. I think there's some power in there. And Aaron Donald is from Glamorgan. Caleb Jules, Australian. Martin Anderson gives it a tonk. Samit Patel, we all know about him. Madsen's a wonderful player. Brooke Guest, Ross Whiteley. They've got some firepower. They must, you know, they've had a bad time. It happens in this. T20, you look at this and you think they're a fancied team. Bottom of the league.
Not too far away from the start, about 3 minutes away from the start. The mascots are lining up. For viewers on Lancs TV, we're going to head outside. Here's Fraser.
Ladies and gentlemen, with a guard of honour from Wythenshawe All-Stars Cricket Club, please welcome our umpires this afternoon, Hassan Annan and Jack Stanley. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our opposition this afternoon, the Derbyshire Falcons. Emirates, Old Trafford, are you ready? Please give a huge welcome to the opening batters for Lancashire Lightning!
Salt and Keaton Jennings are out there in the middle, and well, it's tricky ones when you're batting first, isn't it? I guess, Bumble, in terms of what you think might be a defendable score and all that carry on. Use pitch as well, that might come into it.
A big enough boundary, and looking at last night, Northants batting first, 170 plus. You think that's not bad, but they cruised past him.
They did. It was a century partnership between Phil Salt and Joss Butler that basically was the heartbeat of Lancashire's run chase last night, and it got maybe a little bit nervy towards the back end of the innings, but in truth it felt like they were under control.
Well, I mean, just look at Lancashire last night, played in Northamptonshire. They got to the hotel, I stayed at the hotel last night, they didn't get in till 4 o'clock in the morning to got back on the bus. They'd be on a bus. And equally tomorrow, Derbyshire down at Chesterfield, where we've just been, they play Yorkshire. Derbyshire play Yorkshire tomorrow at Chesterfield, which will be an absolute hoot. I just wish I could get down there on that ground. It'll be fabulous. What I liked about it, Chesterfield, chairs all over the place, but just pick a chair up and move it where you want. I'll shift it over here, I'll watch from here, under a tree. Yeah.
It was a lovely week, wasn't it?
It was brilliant.
Yeah, I did enjoy it.
Fabulous.
Here we go. Gazamfar with some spin to get the game underway. Slip in place. Oh, it's just dropped a little bit short, and it's chopped away into the offside by Phil Salt, but picked up by Zach Chappell at backward point. And there's no run. So we are up and running across Lancs TV, the BBC Sport website and app, and on the wireless with BBC Radio Lancashire, where it's dry and, well, the forecast I think is okay. Samik Patel's at the toss with rain potentially around. It's worth bowling first. There's Gazamfar's in, a fuller delivery, driven away wide of mid-off, and that'll race down towards the rope. Will it reach the boundary? Lanky's urging it on, but good work down below us to flick the ball back. And in the end, Donald saving 1 run for his side because they ran 3.
The sun's just started to peep through. The lights are still on. I've not seen Gazamfar before. And he's got a rhythmical run up. He has a little hop and a skip before he sets off. Is he going to bowl around the wicket to the left-hander, is he? A non-striking batter is stood round the wicket.
It's Jennings who's on strike. Slip is in place. So it will be Gazamfar.
I thought so. He's bowling round the wicket.
Yeah, he stood on the wrong side, wasn't he, Phil Salt? So he creeps across to the right side of the crease. He's still scratching around here, is Keaton.
He's got a slip in as well.
Ready to pounce. Here we go. Gazamfar from around the wicket, bouncing his way back in, and bowls to Jennings, and that's tapped back towards him, and there is no addition to the score. We've seen quite a bit of each other, these two sides. I think we mentioned that match in in Chesterfield last week in the county championship, and of course the game before that, Lancashire played Derbyshire at Derby in this format. Gazamfar balls, reverse sweep is the attempt from Jennings. Doesn't get it away.
Balls it quickly. I mentioned this hop, skip and a jump into his run. He's quite a big chap, bowling around the wicket and bowling these spinners quite flat at a decent pace.
He bowled his 4 overs in the match at the county ground, went for 46 in that game. Down the leg side, he's asking, that's a little thin edge down the leg side, but Jack Chantry unmoved.
And Gazamfar appealing there and down on his knees. Not too much from the wicketkeeper, as it must have flicked the pad down the leg side because it wasn't given wide.
Just 3 off the over so far. Final ball of the first over. A ring of 4 fielders in the circle on the offside, plus the slip. Short fine leg, short mid wicket. And there's one out on the boundary at deep square leg. Gazamfar in. That's turned away off the pads by Jennings. Out towards deep backward square leg. It's picked up by Ross Whiteley, and that's the first over complete. So 4 coming off it. Salt has 3, Jennings on 1, and Lancashire Lightning of 4 without loss.
Is it off spin, or off spin and a bit of leg spin?
I think it is.
Or out of the back of the hand?
Yeah. Mystery bowler, mystery spinner is what he was described to as me. I was told by our colleagues that he's predominantly leg spin that he will bowl.
Okay, well, I thought with the trajectory there, he might have been bowling off spin because it was sort of darted towards leg side. Good pace. I mean, I don't think you're going to come down the pitch and look to belt it. He bowls it quickly.
He's on the 20, listed as being off spinner on his profile. But I do love it when they describe spinners as being mystery spinners. Actually, there's not much mysteries around it, though.
No.
Here we go with some pace from the James Anderson end. It's Ben Aitchison in and bowling. Oh, that's uppercut by Jennings down towards the 3rd man boundary and away for 4 runs. Jennings moves to 5 and Lancashire Lightning are 8 without loss.
Short and wide, and he's played that off the front foot. He's played that off the front foot, and it's a back foot shot somehow that he scooped over short 3rd man. They're not having this. There's somebody waving a flag right behind the bowler's arm. You can't do that. But you have to go. He's very enthusiastic and very keen, and I like it, but you can't do it there. Oh, now he's shifting now. You've got to shift his chair. Move to the side. It's an enormous flag. I'm not talking about something that a child would have. This is an enormous. Go on, you keep going.
8 without loss in the second. Here's Aitchison in and balls to Jennings, and he's hit it out towards the flag. Catch it if you can. 1 bounce and 4 up towards that enormous Lancashire Lightning flag on the long-on boundary. 4 for Jennings. He moves to 9-12 without loss.
Well, I think he's an official flag waver, is that chap. Right down there on the boundary, he's had to move to the side, and Jennings hit it straight to him.
12 without loss. 2 balls into the second over. Jennings on 9. Here is Aitchison in from the Anderson end. He's over the wicket and bowling, and that's cut into the offside, but there's no run. Fielded inside the circle.
Now, I've never noticed this before. If you're looking round, the flag wavers have all got a seat. They're all having a sit down. They've probably got a sandwich. Look, I know he's going to start waving that flag.
It's quite a heavy flag to wave, that, isn't it? Aitchison for Derbyshire. Balls again, short and wide and carved away over cover. Out towards Lanky, just beyond the boundary rope. 4 more for Jennings. 3rd 4 of the over.
The flag's up again. A sat-down flag waver. Lousy ball. That is a lousy ball. Short, wide, 2 fielders inside the circle on the offside. Just lift it over the top.
Piece of fielding by Lanky.
There's a security man coming round to the flags. There's a security man now. He's going to...
Oh, no.
There's somebody's out walking. Right behind him, just ready to receive. He's going to our flag waver. You've got to move, mate. You can't sit there.
16 for no wicket. Aitchison into Jennings. He's a step down the pitch, trying to whip it away to the leg side. Just wraps him on the pad and deflects back down the pitch to the bowler, and there's no run.
Now, this is more interesting than the cricket. So the security guy has walked right behind the bowler's arm, and he stopped with the sat down flag waver. You can't sit here, mate. You got a shift.
Final ball of the second over. Aitchison to Jennings. It's clubbed down the ground, through mid-on, bouncing over the rope. 4 to end the over, 4 to start the over, and 2 falls in the middle of it. Lancashire Lightning 20 without loss after 2.
And the security man has retrieved the ball and thrown it to the fielder. He's carried on his walk around the ground. The sun's out now. I wonder if the floodlights will stay on, or they'll say, oh, that's long enough. Use the natural light. A little bit of blue sky. 20 after 2. Only went for 4, didn't he?
He did, yep. Let's have another go. Here is Gazamfar as well.
Where's his 2 outfielders? A deep long on and deep square leg.
He's only 18, the Afghanistan spinner. And he's in and bowling to Salt. It's played safely away into the offside. And Samit Patel comes up to field. There's no run. Bowls a myriad. This was on the official press release. A myriad of variations. Like that. Bouncing his way back in. Over the wicket. Balls again. Flat this time. Chopped into the offside. Tumbling stop inside the circle. And there's no addition to the score. Ross Whiteley there for Derbyshire.
He's bowled accurately. I'll mention again that it's a decent pace.
20 for no wicket. Couple of dot balls to start the third over. Gazamfar for Derbyshire. Balls again. As he cleared the circle there, Salt, well, it was more height than distance, really. Donald coming round from mid-off to field. Just enough on it to get over Samit Patel. And it lands safely beyond the reach of Donald. 1 to Salt. He moves to 3, and it's 21 without loss.
I think you just, from what we've seen, and from what I've seen, just treat him as a medium pacer. He hasn't spun any. Just medium pace. Gentle medium pace.
He went for runs in the game between these two sides at the county ground a few weeks ago. Step to the leg side and hammers it over mid-off. Keaton Jennings, lovely shot. 1 bounce and 4, 25 without loss, Lancashire.
That's a definite leg spinner. I think he's bowled quite a number of off spinners or things out the front of his hand, but it's not spinning. You get it in your mind, you treat him just as a medium pacer. Forget what you think's happening from his hand. Medium pace, he ain't spinning.
21 from 11 for the Lancashire Lightning captain, Keaton Jennings. First boundary that Gazamfar's conceded so far tonight. 2 fielders outside the circle, down at deep square leg and at long on. Short fine leg, mid-wicket, and then the ring of blue Derbyshire fielders in that Derbyshire kit in the circle on the offside. Reverse sweep here by Jennings. Can't get it past the infield. Just take a single, though, most to 22, 26 without loss.
The one that he got hit straight over long off was very full, half volley. He's tended to bowl just back of a length.
Final ball of the third. Salt's on strike. In and balls to Salt. Driven firmly. Excellent stop by Samit Patel, low down to his left. That extra cover. Oh, that stung the fingers. Good stop, though. 26 without loss after 3.
Crikey, Samit, you've still got it. It was a brilliant stop at short extra cover. How many from that over? 6. So there's 2 good overs. 4 and a 6 from Gazamfar. Whether he bowls another one, he might as well bowl another one. They're not really, I'm not saying they're not picking him, there's no need to pick him, he's not spinning it. But he's bowled accurately enough. Good crowd in, crowd has built up. Plenty of... Oh, on the balconies, look at the hotels, there's plenty. Great view. I'm always at the back looking at the building side when I stay there.
Is that not a great view as well, Bumble?
Well, no, I'd rather be on the other side.
26 for that loss. 3 gone. There's Zach Chappell from the Anderson end. Jennings on strike. Down the pitch he comes, lifts it, leg side, in the air, caught. Pat Brown, deep backward square leg, takes the catch. Jennings can't quite believe it. Chappell strikes for Derbyshire, and Lancashire lose their first wicket. First ball of the 4th over. Jennings gone for 22. It's 26 for 1.
Well, a banging ball from Zach Chappell. As soon as he hit it, he'll be admiring it, thinking this is 4, this is 6, but he's hit it straight to Pat Brown. He takes this as easy as you like. Pat Brown gets down on one knee, fingers pointing to the sky, and Lancashire Lightning lose their first wicket. An aggressive innings from Keaton Jennings, 22 for him. It's 26 for 1. You get Keaton Jennings out and you think, well, come on, who's in next? Butler.
Yes. Yeah. Slight problem with this Lancashire Lightning lineup is that they just keep on coming, don't they, really?
Yeah. I mean, it really strengthens with Michael Jones coming in. Jones is a good player. If Lancashire supporters haven't seen the best of Michael Jones, they were really disappointed at Durham when he left there. But he's actually come home. I think he's a Cheshire lad. He's from this area, but they haven't seen the best of him. He's a player.
So Butler, who got runs last night, along with Salt, who shared a century partnership for Lancashire to get them over the winning line against the then leaders Northamptonshire, are back together again less than 24 hours later. 26 for 1 in the 4th. So Butler's a new batter, and Derbyshire put themselves a slip catcher in position in Wayne Madsen. Here is Zach Chappell in and bowls to Butler, up on his toes and defends, just drops it into the offside, and there is no run.
What they've tried to do is to protect the offside to Butler, who is slipping, so they're not phased. They're not being phased by Lightning. They've got a slip in as the catcher, but there are only 3 fielders on the leg side. One at deep backward square leg, short fine leg, and a mid-on.
Chappell turns and comes striding in once more over the wicket, bowls to Butler, steps across the stumps and ramps it over the keeper's head down towards the boundary. It'll spin away from Gazanfar and all the way for Butler, who gets his first runs for Lancashire Lightning here at Emirates Old Trafford this season. 30 for 1 now.
Well, I'm amazed. How do they do this? He's got good pace as Zach Chappell. He just shimmies around in the crease, and he's facing the wrong way when he plays this, and doesn't look like missing it either.
Halfway through the 4th, wicket, dot and 4 from the over so far. Butler will flick it away off his hip up towards mid-on. Donald's there to field for Derbyshire. Butler gets a single, he moves to 5, 31 for 1.
Do you know, I reckon if I had to try and play that shot, I'd be like unlucky Alf. I'd hit it straight into my head. It never looks like missing it, does he? Nonchalant. No. He's facing the wrong way, and just as the ball's passing, he just gives it a little tap.
Making it look so easy. Got 54 last night, Butler. Salt made 80. Here is Chappell in 2. Salt hammered away, clears cover, out towards the boundary in front of the hotel. Good stop by Pat Brown, coming from behind square to put a dive in and flicks the ball away from the rope. Good fielding by Brown, saving a couple of runs for his side. 33 for 1. Salt moves to 6 with that. Yeah, both these batters last night playing for Lancashire for the first time this season, for Butler, who had a bit of a break after his England duties, and for Phil Salt, back from paternity leave. Chappell in and bowls to Salt. Short ball banged in over the keeper. It goes down towards the boundary, and it's gone for byes, and it's gone for 4 of them to end the over for Chappell. It started with a wicket, and it ended with a short bouncer, which was too much for Brooke Guest, the keeper, and it means that after 4 overs, Lancashire Lightning are 37 for 1.
That's a sharp delivery. has got a bit of pace, Zach Chappell, but it looked to be a real banging ball. Took the batter by surprise and flew over the keeper's head. 37 for 1 in 4. Now, is he going to... Yeah, he is. He's going to bowl another over, Gazanfar. Might as well, if he's bowling well, you might as well bowl him through. There's no damage so far. 2 overs for 10.
Bananas are in, Bumble.
Hey?
The bananas were in.
Oh, they were at Headingley. I wonder if they're the same bunch.
37 for 1, 4 gone. Here's Gazanfar, third on the spin in the power play for the Derbyshire Falcons, with Joss Butler on strike and a slip in place. Gazanfar in and bowls and drill firmly away into the offside, where Patel fields inside the circle at short cover, and there's no addition to the score. Dot ball to start the 5th. 3 on the spin for the young Afghanistan spinner, bowling in the power play, bouncing in again, flat to Butler. That's worked away off his pads down towards short fine leg. Gets through for a single. Butler moves on to 6, 38 for 1.
He's clever. Slower delivery there, just a little bit more flight. Nudged into the leg side, a single. The bananas are a bunch from Didsbury. Not far to travel, be fresh.
Be posh bananas, won't they? Gazanfar in and bowls, muscled high, leg side by Salt. That's clearing Brown on the boundary, and that's in towards the crowd, and it's caught in the crowd. How easy is that? 44 for 1, Salt to 12. Take a bow.
Well done, sir. Fabulous catch. I don't think he moved out of his seat. It's a big shot, huge. Salt climbs into it. Does he get out of it? He doesn't get out of his seat, he just sits and thank you very much.
Outstanding effort. Gazanfar to Salt. It's in the air, but to the right of mid-wicket. Caleb Jewell lurking around there for Derbyshire. Couldn't get to it. Brown comes up from the boundary. Salt moves to 13, 45 for 1.
It's a big hit. We mentioned the boundary is big enough. That is the shorter side, if there is a shorter side, just about. Oh, he's hitting it with the wind. He's hitting it with the breeze as well.
Blowing from left to right as we look. It's nudged away into the onside by Butler. Brown comes round, puts the slide in, and they do comfortably come back for a couple, edging Lancashire towards the 50 mark with 1 delivery to go of the 5th over. 47 for 1.
Gazanfar's just had a bit of a warning about running on the danger area. Get rid of that low, just get rid of it. Batters run all over it. Leave the bowlers alone.
Gazanfar to Butler, throws it wide, chips it over mid-off, down towards the boundary, and all the way for 6. The first for Butler, he moves to 14, 5 gone. Lancashire bring up their 50 as well, 53 for 1.
And it's been effortless. No alarms at all. Gazanfar now, you look at it as a captain and think, well, I'll give him another. He's bowled 2 overs for 10, and now he goes for 2 sixes, 3 overs for 26, and you'd just be thinking, captain, have I given him 1 too many? Hindsight, wonderful thing. But the ones that he's got pumped down the ground are the over picks. When he's bowled just back of a length, you can knock him for 1.
So 1 over remaining of Lancashire's power play. They only lost 1 wicket of Keaton Jennings, and Salt and Butler have helped push that score beyond 50. Zach Chappell returns from the James Anderson end, and Salt's on strike unbeaten on 13. Chappell in and bowls to Salt, who's shuffling down the pitch and then defends, and then slightly anxiously looking to see where that ball was going to bounce, but it was bouncing wide of his off stump anyway.
I bet they don't let dogs in here, do they? At one of these stadiums.
I've never seen a dog.
I'm not letting it go.
So what's up?
I took my dogs in at Chesterfield, no problem. It's a park ground, Queen's Park. So I ring up Blackpool. Can I bring my dogs in? Stanley Park, Blackpool. No, health and safety issue. There's a zoo next door. There's lions and all sorts in.
Chapel to Salt, pushed up towards mid-on. Salt moves to 14, 54 for 1.
Venomous snakes. One of them gets out, it's curtains for the cricket. It comes sliding onto the outfield. I've got my dog on a lead. Minding its own business, he's as good as gold. Health and safety, you can't bring your dog in. Good at Chesterfield, was lovely. Sat under a tree.
I've never seen a dog inside Old Trafford, no.
No.
54 for 1 in the 6th. Butler's on 14. Here is Chapel. Oh, he just pulls away to Ben. There's Joss Butler. He's pointing behind the bowler and behind the umpire. He's seen something. That's what it was. It's Chapel's towel. I think his little white towel that was hooked in the back of his trousers.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's just dropped out.
Worcester, you take dog to Worcester.
Yeah, I've seen dogs at Worcester. Yeah. Durham.
Durham.
Seen dogs at Durham.
Yeah.
14 for Butler. Is Zach Chapel in balls down the leg side, wide, called, signalled by the umpire. Good diving catch by Brooke Guest. Score moves to 55 for 1. So had you got to Stanley Park and you were turned away?
No, I rung.
Right,
You got to ring. Your best way, because I'll tell you why. Because we went to Stratford-on-Avon with the dogs. You can't come in. I said, there's one there, look, there's a Labrador. That's the chairman's. All right.
Chapel to Butler. And that's clipped. It's in the air. It's bouncing just in front of Wayne Madsen, who's at mid-on. And for a moment or two, Butler looked like maybe he was struggling and in a bit of bother, but it bounced just in front of Madsen.
Yeah, he cloths this, looking to go over mid-on. Wayne Madsen is on the edge of the circle. Just got an inside edge, thick inside edge. Last over the power play.
3 balls remaining of it. Chapel to Butler, short, muscled, leg side. 4 runs in front of square, out towards the boundary. Moves to 18, 59 for 1.
That's a bad ball. Bad ball with this field. There only, there might be 4. Is there 4 on the? I can't see just underneath us. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Yeah, there must be a fine leg. There are 4 on the leg side. It's a short ball, not high enough.
Butler to 18. Chapel, what's his response? In balls again, and just dropped way off his hit by Butler. One that just appeared to shape back in towards him, just nudges it away to the leg side. Brooke Guest comes from behind with the gloves to field. Butler goes through for 1. He moves to 19, 60 for 1. With 1 ball left of the power play. Brings Phil Salt on strike, and that man at fine leg comes in towards the circle. And 2 catches out on the leg side boundary. Deep backward square leg and deep mid wicket. Chapel to complete the first 6 overs. In and bowling to Salt. Salt trying to slap it away into the offside. In the end, it bounces back towards Chapel. Gets a round of applause from his skipper, Samit Patel. Happy with that. End of the over. 6 gone. 60 for 1. Salt's got 14. Butler's got 19. Bumble, I'll leave you. And Phoebe Graham will come and join me.
I'm very pleased about that. I thought she bowled well in her 1 over. She just bowled 1 over. I thought run-up was good. She gets her mic on. I thought good run-up. Strong delivery, 1 over, knocked a pole out the ground, didn't you?
Yeah, it was not a bad over.
Yeah, it was a good over, and then it rained, so he didn't come back on. You bowled that leg spinner, didn't you, King
Yeah, Kingy and Crossy to finish the game for us. No, it was a...
I thought Kate Cross bowled well. Good pace, pair of you. Athletic. I thought I'd give you a negative from what I've seen previously. Not athletic enough, but they were athletic in this game. I like that.
Got change of bowling here with Brown in and punch through the offside by Butler. They look to come back for the 2. Bit of a stumble, but makes it back comfortably in the end. Poor throw out in the deep.
This lad, Pat Brown, he played a little bit for England, hasn't he? He's been England squad T20. He's at Worcester. I thought he had real pace. He could bowl at 90 miles an hour at one stage, but he tends to now just be a white ball cricketer. I've seen him bowl rapid, but he has variations, hasn't he? Loads of variations.
Yeah, they haven't used him here in the power play either, and that's why really he's very good in the middle and towards the death. As he comes into Butler, who shimmies his shoulder and punches comfortably to Patel in the ring.
So tell us about the surface. What's it like? There don't look to be any grass on it.
There was a little bit of grass from this end actually that Pat Brown's bowling from, so Tara Norris took the new ball, and if you hit it, it's almost like that test match line and length, just jumps off the surface, and it was a bit skiddier from the James Anderson end.
And no spin?
Not a lot of spin, no. And then it just became a bit skiddier after the rain. As Brown in wide on the offside, goes through for no run.
Yeah, I've seen him bowl quickly. He got into England's team. I mean, he doesn't seem to be around it now. Moved from Worcestershire to Derbyshire, but he made his mark in T20 cricket with loads of slower deliveries and bowling at the end. You know, that bloke with the know-how at the end. But I saw him in a couple of red ball matches. I thought he's got a bit of pace.
Comes in again to Butler. Wide on the offside and driven down the ground. There's a long one out there that cuts it off for a single. Thought he got more of that, actually.
There's been a couple of shots that have been thick inside edge. But I think it's a pleasant pace, this. Zach Chappell got one through. He got a bouncer through that went over the keeper's head. So if you bend your back, I think it's going to be an even pace, or an even pace and an even bounce, so you can play your shots. 63 in the 7th.
Yeah, there was just one or two we saw that had that extra bit of bounce in this fresh wicket. There's Brown into Sol, and he cuts that out towards cover on the boundary. They'll look to come back for two, and only the single.
It's a great throw in, is that. They were looking for two and then settled for one. It's a rocket throw right above the stumps.
So where have you been recently, Bumble?
Everywhere.
Yeah, I think I've seen you at Headingley, Edgbaston.
Yeah, York. York
Blackpool,
was good.
Obviously.
No, I didn't go to Blackpool because they won't let the dog in. No. York was good. It was a good scene at York for a day's red ball cricket.
That was the Yorkshire match.
Yeah, a couple of days at
won.
Chesterfield,
Yeah.
a couple of days down at Edgbaston for the test.
Brown into Butler, who punches that out through to cover for a single. Finished the 7th over, Lancashire 65 for 1.
They should get a lot here. Just looking at this pitch and looking at the batting lineup they've got, it depends on Samit Patel as captain of Derbyshire as to get his combination of balls. He's coming on himself now, so he's a wily campaigner. Bowls left arm spin, he'll tend to ball it into the leg side if he can.
Yeah, knows what he's doing, doesn't he now? He's been playing for a number of years. 2nd year as captain for Derbyshire.
Yeah, and so Wayne Madsen is red ball captain. It's T-shirt time out on the throwing T-shirts into the crowd.
There's a few in today. It's a lovely atmosphere at Emirates Old Trafford. Patel in and punch straight back to him. It's taken, and that's the wicket of Jos Buttler. He departs for 23 off just 15 deliveries. Patel gets the wicket he was looking for.
And it's a big wicket. This is huge. Jos Buttler just punches it back, tending to bowl roundabout leg stump. He gets it perfectly, Samit Patel. And they celebrate, they really celebrate. They've got a big wicket, a golden wicket. Gets it exactly right, and I think he's trying to play it a bit inside out. Starts from around the wicket, gets it to leg stump, full of length. And it looked as if it might be some sort of plan, because Samit Patel turned round to the dressing room and sort of pointed and said, that's the one.
Yeah, he was either pointing to the dressing room or telling Jos Buttler where to go, wasn't he? One or the other. But one big name leaves, another one joins. Liam Livingstone at the crease.
Well, I think that's good for Livingstone he can have a look. I hope he does. You know, if he bats 13 overs, they've got a lot. I wonder if players think that way, Liam Livingstone. If I bat 13 overs, quite naturally, I'm going to score.
Well, he does tend to have a slower strike rate. In comes Patel and punch back to him.
Spun.
Looked like it did a bit off the pitch there. But he does tend to have a slower strike rate in his first 10 balls, does Livingstone. Patel in and driven out to long off for a single. But when he gets going, goes through the roof, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, when you've got a great batting lineup and wonderful players who can find the boundary, they'll find it naturally. Just, you know, you should say both of these. If I bat 13 overs, we've got a lot.
Patel in, driven out to long off for a single.
It's just showing this, Phoebe, that, you know, left arm spin, just finger spin, and he's bowling with a little bit of flight as well.
Yeah, you can see it's just gripping and holding in the pitch.
Just a challenge.
Patel in and Livingstone just caught up there. Tries to pull it, but it comes onto the bat quicker than he thought. It's straight back to Patel.
Great over so far. Come out of this summit now. Wicket, 2 dots, 2 singles.
Patel in and worked on the leg side for a single. It's a fantastic over from Samit Patel in the attack. 3 from it and the big wicket of Jos Buttler. Lancashire now 68 for 2.
Super over is that. No damage. You come out of it with no damage and get a golden wicket. Get one of the best players in the world out. Just boost the team. 68 for 2 after 8. Weather-wise, we're still okay.
Yeah, we've got a few bright white and grey clouds now at Emirates Old Trafford, rather than it was horrible earlier with the dark skies. We might get a bit of breakthrough, blue sky here now.
Who won the toss in your game?
We won the toss.
Because you knew there's a bit of rain around, so you might, did you finish up an 8-over game?
8-over game, yes it was.
You're batting second, you're going to win.
Know what you're chasing?
Yeah. And they'd already had, Essex had already had 5 overs, so they only had 3 overs to bat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then Kingy and Crossy put on an international display, didn't they, of bowling? It was a brilliant 3-over spell from us. The Derbyshire stick to Pat Brown at the Brian Statham end. In and cut uppishly from Livingstone. They look to come back for 2. It's fielded and big divot out the ground there from Chappell. I think he goes down on his knees to field that one.
He's took a big sod out of the ground, hasn't he, there? He's put it back, though, like all good golfers should do. I thought your action was good today. You had a bit of snap.
Thank you very much, Bumble.
Yeah, good run-up, aggressive run-up, snap in the action, poles out the ground. Perfect.
Brown in, defended into the offside for no run. Yeah, I've worked hard. That's my first game for Lancashire Thunder this year, Bumble. Got a very strong seam attack and a lot of depth in our squad, so I had to work hard to get myself on the pitch.
Well, you got your place now, so you stay in.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Funny game. It's a funny game. Pat Brown. Into Livingstone, Yorker. Slower ball as well. It just drifted in at his toes there and he digs it out. No run. Umpire wants to have a look because he spiked it on the way down, did Brown. He fielded it off his own bowling.
What? So he's trod on it, so the umpire wants to see it. Why? I wonder why. That's unlucky. It happens.
Just in, I don't know. It's always just in case, isn't it?
What? Get on with it.
Let's keep playing. Keep playing. Brown in and wide on the offside. Livingstone looking at the umpire. I think he just keeps it inside those tram lines.
Well, you're seeing these variations that he runs a long way. This is, you know, I love that sort of run-up. It's aggressive. He's charging in. But he's bowled a couple of slower balls, which foxes the batter. The batter thinks he's running that fast, it's going to be quicker.
Changing his line as well, isn't he? So he's got deep cover, fine, square, cow and long off. There's Brown in and Livingston swatted out to cow for a single.
Yeah, he'll give you all sorts, Pat Brown. But again, you look at this over. We've just seen that over from Patel. There's 2 singles, I think it was, from it. Look at this, Pat Brown. A 2, 3 dot ball, single. So as a bowler now, you can't get out of this. Don't want a boundary. Going to change the field, are they? Yeah. Third man's... Yeah, short third goes back. Fine leg comes inside the circle. So what does that mean? Is he going to bowl a slower ball or a regulation quick?
Well, potentially wide line Yorker. Brown comes in. Looks like it's slower. 5th stump line. And hits out to long off for a single. That's a good over from Pat Brown. Just 4 from it.
Oh, here you are on our screen. That's your wicket. Who did you get out?
So that's Lissy McLeod, the opening batter for Essex.
Right. Paul's flattened.
Very, very complimentary to put it on the screen there, wasn't it?
Reminds me of Fred Truman, that with balls flying out the ground. Can't wheel it.
Well, after 2 good overs here from Derbyshire, they're sticking with spin. Samit Patel's first over, 3 runs from it, 1 wicket. Looks to be sticking in the wicket a little bit, off a length. They've just changed the momentum here of Derbyshire. 7 from the last 2 as Patel in and swatted out to the offside. And Salt adds 1 to his total. Joined by Paul Shaw.
Good afternoon, Phoebes. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm very well, thanks. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. I enjoyed watching you bowling today. I've just heard Bumble having a conversation with you about it.
Patel in and advances down the crease. Is it in the hands? No, it's cleared into the stands. Livingston takes Patel on. And that's the first 6 from Livingston tonight. 11 from 10.
Yeah, Livingston picks the length really quickly, comes down the pitch, advances down the pitch, gets the ball under his eyes, and with a full flow of the bat, makes a great contact, and the ball travels some distance.
Livingston works that down the onside for a single. Yeah, that's one way to deal with a tricky length, isn't it, Shawsey?
It is. We talk a lot about that length where spinners try to dominate and batters, but actually if the batter can get down the pitch and dominate that area, then actually you take the game to them and take them out the game. So done that really well.
Patel in and...
Oh, it's well bowled.
Salt just pats that back. Almost gets through bat and pad. And that's when he's hitting that length again.
Yeah, and as you said earlier on, the odd one in the women's game just skidded through a little bit, didn't it, with a bit of pace on?
Salt flashes his arms at that, beats cover. An extra comes round. And they come back comfortably for 2. Just a bit of width there from Patel.
The thing about this Lightning team is they also know the angles, don't they? So obviously they're looking for boundaries, but they'll also look to hit pockets and run hard.
In from Patel and just hits the pads. Looks like that just went straight on.
Just went. I think it's that. It's almost like the knee roll length on this pitch for spin is a good length to bowl. What I've noticed from the seamers is that ones that's bowled just slightly back of the length and probably just slower than waist height, a hard length is a difficult ball to get away. So that's certainly what Derbyshire Falcons will be looking to do in the last 10 overs. Just a reminder of the score. Lancashire Lightning are 82 for 2 off 10, Salt 20 off 20 deliveries, and Livingston 12 off just 11 deliveries.
Yeah, I think they'll be happy with this platform at the halfway stage. Will like Lightning. They've got plenty of batters in the tank to look to explode from here. Just settled the run rate, have a couple of overs from Patel there. The change of bowling with Atkinson in the attack. Full bunger into Salt, and he pulls that away for 4. That'll be a no ball. Be a free hit, his first and final warning.
Yeah, it just looks like he's slipped this, doesn't it? A bit of moisture about, a little bit of rain in the air, and whether his fingers have just slipped off the seam there. But certainly was over waist height. With him being a fast bowler, that's certainly deemed a no ball. So a free hit.
Yeah, it's never how you want to start your over. 5 from it and not a legitimate ball bowled, and it'll start with a free hit now. In and throws his hands through it and goes to deep backward point for 4. Momentum shifts again. Lancashire 92 for 2.
And in T20 cricket, momentum shifts in just a ball or two, doesn't it? I love how Livingston just opens his wrists here on contact. He's aware of the field, he's aware of where backward point is and where third is. And with it being a free hit, he's just took the wrist, but he's opened his wrists and opened the blade beautifully.
In, and Livingston punches that to cover for no run. Fielded there by Samet.
So Phoebes, did you enjoy it today? Running in, looked like your run-up was pretty smooth, good tempo, and strong at the crease, and you hit the pitch beautifully, and in fact, you knocked the poles over.
In, and that'll be a wide. It's becoming a very expensive over here from Atkinson.
And there's one other thing I should mention. I heard today was the day of the Phoebe Graham Little Shuffle.
Little shimmy.
Little shimmy.
Yeah.
Was it
I don't know where that came from, actually.
Yeah, it was there, wasn't it? Good rhythm.
Ready for the,
I think that's
ready
what
for
I
the
meant.
dance floor.
That's what I meant when I was talking about rhythm.
That's where it comes from. In and clubbed through the offside for a single. Made lovely contact there. Did Livingston for a single.
94 for 2. Yeah, I thought you bowled well today. You only had the no one over because of the weather, but I thought you bowled well. Pleased to see you playing today, and pleased to see the Lancashire Thunder team get a win, even though it was a difficult game in terms of weather, but a good win.
Club to mid-off, but been no run. Salt from 20 from 21 deliveries. He's just not quite got going here, has he?
No, and it's just an interesting phase of play. So momentum shifted very quickly just a few balls ago to the Lightning team, and I just feels like Derbyshire's pulling that back, and Salt's probably just feeling it a little bit. He's just searching for a boundary here.
Atkinson wide again and driven down the ground wonderfully, but it's a good piece of fielding from Derbyshire. They'll only be able to get the 2.
Great bit of fielding there. I can't see from here who was on the boundary, but mid-on run round to, deep mid-on run round to long off really, and pulled off a really good diving stop and minimise what could have been another 2 runs. So just picked 2 up off that.
Atkinson in and pulled to square leg for a single. And it's been an expensive over, 31 from it. It's brought the momentum back into Lancashire's half after a really tight couple of overs from Patel, Brown. But Lancashire back in the driving seat, 97 for 2 off 11.
Just wondering what would be a good score here that the Lancashire Lightning team or batting unit would be happy with. Just wondering whether around about 180 from this stage. Could they stretch to 190 maybe? But certainly Derbyshire will be wanting to pick up just a couple of wickets here, just to slow down this this strike rate, and maybe think about chasing 165, 170. Lancashire Lightning will be thinking upwards of 180, I would have thought. Phoebes, what having played out there today, what would your thoughts be?
I think from a bowling perspective, if you hit your length, it's difficult to score, and that was just a really poor over as Gazanfa comes in and cut backwards for 4. It's a lovely shot that by Sol. So I think they'll be looking at the 190, 200 mark. Well, Lancashire, particularly from this platform that they've created. But I think we've seen throughout that if you do bowl a good length, it's difficult to score, and that's where, outside of the power play, if they'd have continued with that momentum, Derbyshire, they could have halted them a little bit. As Salt pulls that into the mid-wicket, looks to come back for 2, but just gets a single. You can see that one just stayed low and stuck in the pitch, so there is something in it for the bowling team. There's just been a bit of sloppiness from Derbyshire the last over or so. In and worked through to square leg for a single by Livingston. Big over going for 31 the previous. That really does change the look of the scoreboard.
Yeah, certainly does, and this partnership now is growing in confidence, and Salt's moved on to 28, Livingston on 22, scores 103 for 2.
Gazanfa in and punched down the ground nicely for a single. Crowd getting behind Martin Anderson there. Trying to put him off, they just love a little fumble to a British crowd. Gazanfa in and hooked nicely down to long on for a single. Just a whip of the wrist there from Livingston. Final delivery of this over from Gazanfa. Just worked down the ground again for a single. Ends up being a nice over from Gazanfa after being hit for 4 off the first delivery. Just goes for 9, and Lancashire are 106 for 2.
With 8 overs remaining of this Lancashire batting innings, and you can see on our screens at the moment the worm, as we call it, which is sliding up that screen pretty well. You see the 2 wickets, and we can see also the batting assaults, as we say, 30 not out off 27 balls. Jennings dismissed for 22, Butler dismissed for 23. All the bowlers have been pretty much in the game. In particular, Patel, I thought, bowled really well those 2 overs, picking up the wicket of Butler.
Brown into Salt, and Salt gets hold of that.
That's huge.
It's huge. It's into the hotel. It's in the Kate Cross suite. Or is it?
What a shot that was.
He got all of that, did Phil Salt. And that's what the crowd's come for today at Emirates Old Trafford. Phil Salt, Liam Livingston, Joss Butler, they're all here today.
They are, and no one's hit a ball as big as that. That has gone a long, long way into the hotel here at Emirates Old Trafford. And it almost went into one of the rooms. I think it's gone probably 3/4 of the way up. Well, there's no one in there having a nap and just being woken up.
Brown in, and he tries to go again. Does he clear mid-off? Oh, good piece of fielding there from Wayne Madsen. Gets a hand to it. They will come back for 2, and they're looking for 3. Almost went full stretch for the catch.
Well, he
but
did
bounces
well
just in front of him.
Yeah.
And did well to get a hand to it in the end.
He did. I'm not sure how well he picked it up straight away. He seemed to be slightly slow off the mark.
Livingston just on his knees at the moment. Looked like something might have gone whilst he was running. He's calling the physio on. Could have been his hamstring. They ran quick for 2. They were looking to push for 3, but Livingston put his hand in the air and he's not really moved since. On his knees. Not looking good here.
No, Livingston in the past has had some hamstring trouble, hasn't it, a little while ago now. So whether it's something like that, we might get a chance to see the replay of the 2 runs that they took then to see if we can see any sign of Livingston pulling an hamstring or maybe a calf. But he's certainly in an uncomfortable position at the moment. Something's not quite right. The physio's gone running on to pay some attention to Livingston having a conversation, and they will go through the little physical tests that they often do in situ and then make a decision on what's going to happen from here.
Looks like they might be getting a runner on. That's what Matty Hurst has just signalled back to the dugout. Could be a stand and strike here from Livingston.
The challenge here is not so much just this game, it's just any further damage that might be created from spending the time in the middle.
You're listening to BBC Radio Lancashire and watching Lancs TV from Emirates Old Trafford. There's just been a stop of play here at Emirates Old Trafford. Lancashire 114 for 2 off 12.2 overs. Starting to go really nicely was Phil Salt, 38 from his 29, but ran back for a quick single, and unfortunately it looks like something in Liam Livingston hammy might have gone here. The physio's on the pitch, the umpire's talking to them. They've requested a runner, but we're just waiting to see what will happen from here. Shawsey, what's your thoughts of the game been so far today? The first half, only 12.2 overs gone, but what do you see happening here for Lancashire?
I think the Lancashire Lightning batting unit, having been put into bat, I think have batted really well. They've just lost the 2 wickets. The foundation's set very, very strong. I think Salt now is into his straps. He's playing good cricket. Butler hit the ball very hard, didn't he? And the only slight hiccup in this at this point in time is the Livingston injury. And how serious that could be, depending how much time he spends out in the middle, because you do have to be careful with hamstring, don't you? Cause some real damage with those. So, but in terms of the foundation, I think it's a fantastic foundation. Run rate is 9.24. They continue at this rate, they're being around the 200 mark. And if this partnership lasts for any period of time, then I don't think there'll be any doubt there'll be 195, 200, might even be slightly ahead of that. From a Derbyshire perspective, what they're looking to do here is contain, and the best way to contain in any format of the game is to see if you can ball wicket to wicket, just slightly adjust that length and that pace, and also if you can pick up a couple of wickets, then the run rate tends to come down a little bit. So that's certainly what the Derbyshire team and Sammy Patel, the Derbyshire Falcons captain, will be looking to do.
Well, Keaton Jennings has joined the pitch. He will be a runner alongside Phil Salt here, as Brown in and Salt clubs that into the leg side, and it's taken. Oh, it's dropped. It's just popped out of his hands there, as Atchinson's bad day continues.
And that could be the point in the game that we were talking about earlier, where
so yeah, just a replay here. It's in his hands, it's out of his hands, and he gets it on the bounce. So they just managed to run one here, so this is where things get a little bit confusing. So Liam Livingston is on strike. I think we'll see a lot of solid base here. Big swing, but Keaton Jennings is on opposite him, ready to run the single as Brown in, and big hit out into the offside on the ropes, tries to get it back, but it'll be 6.
Yeah, Livingston just launched that at that ball, opened his bat face on contact, and the ball's gone square on the offside, but he's carried the boundary and he's gone for 6 runs. So Livingston, with a bad leg, playing off almost one leg, he's managed to make a good enough contact and get 6 runs.
Oh, it's a great effort from Ross Whiteley, tracking back, jumps up in the air and goes to push the ball, but doesn't manage to get it back over the ropes. Well, Brown went wide plan then, knowing that Livingston's got a strong base. He comes in again, goes wide again. Livingston whacks that out to long off, looks very uncomfortable. But Jennings runs the single, and that'll be another run on to Livingston's total.
Yeah, Livingston's on 30 off just 19 deliveries, and the score moves on to 122 for 2, with 7.1 overs still remaining in this this batting innings of Lancashire Lightning.
Brown in and full delivery. Salt pushes that out to Cow. Atchison does well, comes round. They come back for 2.
Salt moves on to 41.
Well, an eventful 12th over. Lancashire at the end of the 12th, 124 for 2. Liam Livingston hobbling around, is not looking in good shape at all. Matty Hurst just gone out with his bib to have a chat. I think they're working out what the best route of attack here is. But the 3 of them having a good chat. Keaton Jennings, Phil Salt, Liam Livingston, a lot of experience between the 3 of them as Liam Livingston goes to the striker's end.
I think they were having a conversation around where they were going to go for dinner this evening at that point. Sammy Patel comes onto ball. Oh, he just sneaks one through Livingston there. It's a good delivery. A little bit quicker, that one. He's pushed that one through as Sammy Patel. Very experienced performer. Good afternoon, Scott.
Is Livingston, well, is this one up and over extra cover for 4. Out towards the boundary and moves on to 30, as you said, Paul. Good afternoon. Off, well, basically one leg, 128 for 2. Good effort.
Yeah, it's a great contact, isn't it? Everything's into that full face of the bat, but I think he does need to be careful if it is an hamstring injury.
There's Samit Patel into Liam Livingston, hanging off the back foot, trying to crack it down the ground, which he does, and then hobbles his way back out towards square leg. I mean, it's a very brave effort from Liam Livingston, but you do worry when they do things like this, that they kind of, are they doing more damage, you know, by staying out there? But he's on 35, 129 for 2. Salt's back on strike. Samit Patel from around the wicket, carved away through the offside. There's a chase on here for Pat Brown, and he's quickly round to field. It's a good throw in towards the stumps, and Salt knew it was a good throw, and he had to put the old belly flop in there, did Phil Salt. Full length dive to scramble home. They managed to squeeze 2 runs out. Salt moves to 43, 131 for 2.
Yeah, he's beginning to get into his into a little bit of rhythm now and gain a bit of momentum. Is Salt.
Patel bowls again. That's pushed away by Livingston out towards Madsen inside the circle at cover, and there's no run. 1 ball remaining of the 14th over, and then there'll be 6 to go. Lancashire Lightning 131 for 2. Salt's on 43. Here's Samit Patel. Ball's driven away by Salt. He wants a quick single, and in the end he's got through for a pretty comfortable single, and that's actually proved to be a pretty profitable over for Lancashire Lightning with 6 to go. 132 for 2.
It has, because he's a wily performer, is Patel, the Derbyshire captain. And I'm just looking to him before the toss today. I think he was really fancying this game today, wanting to put one over on Lancashire rivals. And I think he's bowled well. Bowled 3 overs for 20 odd. Kept it fairly tight, picked up the important wicket of Butler, and he'll not believe that they're out of this game. He'll be thinking, come on, let's keep this really, really tight. Couple more wickets in here, and all of a sudden we can keep them to 175 as opposed to Lancashire pushing on towards around about 200.
Yeah, 2 batters out for Lancashire. Lightning, Keaton Jennings for 22. Josh Butler, Colton Ball by Samit Patel for 23. Livingston and Salt pushing this score thanks to a 67-run partnership, unbeaten 67-run partnership, to 1-3, 2 for 2. Zach Chappell is going to have a go from the Brian Statham end. Phil Salt's on strike. We've got Liam Livingston, who's having to bat with a runner because, well, it looks like he's done his hamstring or something. Didn't look good. So he's hobbling around but doing a pretty impressive job off one leg. As Chappell is in and bowling, he's pushed that Fulham wide, but too far wide of off stump and called a wide by umpire Jack Shantry. To begin the 15th over, 1-3, 3 for 2.
Interesting what length Chappell bowls in this spell. He's already got 1 for 15 off 2 overs, and I thought bowled pretty well in those first 2 overs. Bowled a sharp bouncer, really bent his back and got one through, and then bowled, I thought, a pretty good line.
In balls, Fulham wide, in the air, could be in danger. Salt could be caught, and is. Ross Whiteley coming up from the boundary at deep extra cover, and Salt departs for 44. Chappell picks up his 2nd wicket, and Lancashire lose their 3rd. 1-3, 3 for 3.
And it's a big wicket for Derbyshire there, isn't it? Salt's gone for 44 off 35. And it's a big blow, and the blow that they wanted as Chappell runs in, ball's pretty full and wide outside the off stump, and Salt's just sliced that out to Whiteley, who takes the catch comfortably, and about 10 yards in off the point. Boundary.
Yeah, Salt going for 44. Got himself 80 last night in the victory against the Northamptonshire Steelbacks. Luke Wells, who hit the winning runs last night, and then did you see his little bow afterwards?
No, I didn't see.
Yeah, he hit the final 2 balls for 6, long on, and then straight back over the bowler's head, turn around and a little bow to the dugout. Luke Wells, as you do. Well, why not? Why not? 133 for 3. So Wells, the new batter, here's Chappell from the Statham end to the left-hander, in and balls off the back foot and pushed away into the offside. Madson's at backward point and there's no run.
See, that's more the length that he bowled when he bowled from the Jimmy Anderson end earlier on today, Chappell. He bowled that type of length, but probably a slightly tighter line, pretty straight. So whether that's going to be the type of length he's going to look to focus in on here. It can't be too short because he knows that Wells pulls well, but if he does pull, he's pulling to the longer boundary and against the wind.
Chappell over the wicket. 2 Wells. It's dropped into the onside. They'll scamper through for a quick single. The nearest Derbyshire player to it is the bowler himself.
And chatting to Phoebe earlier, Phoebe Graham, she was saying there's a length you can bowl on this pitch, and I think Chappell's hit that length quite well there. It's just back of the length, but it just skids on. Instead of bounce, just skids on. So it just rushes into the hip. I think that might well be the length to bowl.
134 for 3. We're halfway through the 15th over, and Liam Livingston is he's back on strike. Here's Chappell. Floodlights taking effect now. You can see the shadows as he comes in and bowls wide and carved away. It's in the air, and Ross Whiteley takes a catch, his 2nd of the over, and Chappell's 2nd wicket of the over. And Livingston, who's clearly struggling with an injury, has battled on as best he can, but he's hauled out to Whiteley for 35. 134 for 4.
And Livingston's dismissal there is almost a complete replay of Salt's dismissal. It's exactly the same. It's wide outside the off stump from Chappell on the wide line. Slight slice by Livingston, and again out to Whiteley on the boundary. Exactly the same, isn't it? But that's their plan. Remember, that's the longest boundary, and it's against the wind, so the ball just holds up. If you beat the infield in the air, it still holds up. So if you're going to go to the offside towards a temporary stand, really important to hit the ball hard on the floor and go with the wind to the other side where the new hotel is and get the carrier away.
And as Livingston heads off, let's hope that hamstring problem is not a serious one. It was a very Very brave effort and a committed effort from Liam Livingston to battle on with clearly in quite a lot of discomfort. He's made 35, but he's back in the hutch. New batter's Ashton Turner, and that's driven off a full length towards Samit Patel at cover. And there's no run, it's the end. No, one to go, one left of the over, 134 for 4. It's been an interesting one with the wide to begin with. And then we've had a wicket and a dot and a run and a wicket and a dot. It's been excellent from Chappell.
He's got 3 for 16, hasn't he? In 2.5, and we were saying all they need is a couple of wickets. They've just got those wickets. They're back in the game.
Chappell bowls, carved away down towards wide third man by Ashton Turner, and there is no run. End of the over. 5 remaining, thanks to Paul Shaw. He'll be back in the second half. As we head towards the final throws of this Lancashire Lightning innings, live from Emirates, Old Trafford, BBC Radio Lancashire, the BBC Sport website and app, and across Lancs TV on this Sunday afternoon. David Lloyd is back alongside me. 135 for 4 at Lancashire Lightning.
What day is it?
What did I say?
Sunday.
Oh, mate, I've no idea. I was still on the M6 at 1 o'clock this morning. I've not got a clue what day of the week it is.
I thought I'd missed a day.
Wish I'd have skipped one. 135 for 4. Here is Martin Anderson in and bowls to Turner. And that's played out towards the towards the leg side for a single. Turner moves to 2 with that, and the score moves on to 136 for 4.
That it's just bounced over a mat, so that protective mat must be the Test match pitch. I bet that's the Test match pitch. I've not thought of that today. There's a protective mat on one of the pitches. Test match.
A few weeks away, that, isn't it, I think? What is the Test match score?
A lot. A lot.
But is it enough? Oh, they're 500 in front now.
Yeah.
So 323 for 4, India. Lead England by 503.
I've just done a piece in the paper. England have got to come out of this unscathed somehow.
There's Martin Anderson in and bowls to Luke Wells off the back foot and punched into the offside. No run.
So you've got 5 overs here to go. If you go 10 and over, 186. 108 between 185 and 190. Target score. 4 down. But 2 new batters at the crease. Might not be that many.
Anderson into Wells. Just swap this away. Huge swing by Wells. In the end, he just squirts through to the keeper, Brooke Guest, and there's no run. Hit the winning runs last night, Luke Wells came out. Faced a couple of deliveries, hit them both for 6.
Both for 6, yeah.
Won the match, job done, happy days. 136 for 4, waits for Anderson. In and bowls, another play and a miss, taken again by Guest, and excellent from Anderson, and indeed by Derbyshire.
And it's just medium pace, nothing more than that. Keeper up to the stump, so the batter can't bat. Well, he can bat outside of his crease, but there's a risk of a stumping. Good over this, just 1 from it.
It's Martin Anderson. 2 to go in the over. Balls again, it's wide this time. He's edged it though, and through to Brooke Guest, who takes the catch. Wells has to depart. He's gone for 1. Little snick behind to the keeper, Guest, and Anderson sent down 5 very good deliveries here for Derbyshire from the Jimmy Anderson end in the 16th over. 136 for 5.
He looks dismayed. Wells, it's very, very wide. It's outside of the blue guideline that the umpires use for a wide. It's a huge appeal by Brooke Guest. And he's given out immediately. The umpire's given him out immediately, and he just stood there. He couldn't believe it. There's nothing that you can see as a deflection, but he's given him out straight away. So this is a good spell for Derbyshire, a really good spell. Anderson into the attack. He's got 1 delivery to go. He's had 3 dot balls, a wicket, well that's 4, a single, just come out of the over, and that run rate has dropped down to just over 8.5. Michael Jones, new batter.
Joining Ashton Turner. Jones coming back into the side. Didn't play last night at Wanties Road. Lancashire making one change from that side last night. Jimmy Anderson dropping out, Jones coming in. He's out in the middle now. Anderson in, Martin that is, for Derbyshire. And Bowles to Michael Jones, and that's punched through wide mid-off. And they've managed to sneak back for 2 there. Well, it's still a very, very good over by Martin Anderson. Just 3 coming off it and the wicket as well. But Lancashire managed to find a couple at the end of the over. They've got 4 overs left here, Lancashire Lightning. 138 for 5.
Yeah, 24 deliveries, so they've got a motor here. Get as many as they can. For Derbyshire, the big plus is the 2 new batters. Jones and Turner are new to the crease. On our Lancashire TV, we're seeing all sorts of different sights in the crowd. Just seen a fella in a jacket. I've never seen a jacket like that with an enormous hot dog. It was like a Joseph Technicolor raincoat, wasn't he?
Sammy Patel around the wicket, balls, and Turner cuts down to backward point, no run.
Joseph's Technicolor.
And his amazing Technicolor dreamcoat.
Not raincoat, dreamcoat.
Dreamcoat.
I'm thinking of Harold Wilson with a raincoat.
Patel in, balls, that's wide, too far wide. Turner's off stump and signalled a wide by umpire Jack Shantry, 139 for 5. Hands across the umpire, Patel in and balls down on one knee, Turner out towards the leg side, clears Brown, clears the rope and all the way for 6. 145 for 5.
Right to cow corner and hitting with the breeze. That is the shorter boundary. They're big enough for the boundaries. That's the shorter one of the 2 towards the new hotel.
Here comes Patel, balls to Turner. That's wide. Oh, thumped back towards him and down towards the boundary for 4 by Turner. He's pushing Lancashire towards the 150 mark. 149 for 5.
Well, these are good runs for Lancs boundaries. Ashton Turner, international player for Australia.
Balls again. And driven this time down towards the long off boundary. I think we've got a bit of rain around, haven't we? I think so.
No, we're fine.
Okay.
Well, there's a cloud just above us.
Right.
Might be a bit of mizzle, nothing more.
Okay, we'll do. Blow through.
150. 16.4, 150 for 5.
Jones on 2. There's Samit Patel. Balls, it's in the air, bouncing out towards point. Through for a single, moves on to 3, 151 for 5.
Just a bit of damage to Samit Patel in his final over. I think he's bowled okay, ball with a little bit of flight.
He's in to Turner. Oh, that's thumped back towards him as well, gets fingertips on it. And they shuffle through for 1, but that is the end of Samit Patel for the day with the ball, and he's picked up 1 for 35 from his 4.
Is that a catch or a bump ball? I think it's a catch. He's drilled it straight back to him. He just couldn't get down.
It's a jazzy suit.
That's the fella with the just on the screen again, on our Lancs TV screen. Fella with the Technicolor dreamcoat. Now we're back to the old anoraks. He'll have had one on last night. Liam Gallagher, won't he? He'll have had that black Parker jacket that he wears, his signature.
Where were they performing last night, Oasis? Whereabouts were they?
Cardiff.
Cardiff, right.
Principality.
They're at Heaton Park, aren't they, when they come to Manchester?
3 days, I think, at Heaton Park.
That'll be lively. 152 for 5, 17 gone, 3 to go. Martin Anderson for Derbyshire comes into Ashton Turner, but down the leg side, taken nicely by Brooke Guest, but it is a wide to start the 18th over. 153 for 5.
Good over from Anderson. His first over just went for 3. 153. You're getting up to 180.
14 to Turner. Anderson bowls. That's worked through the leg side, out towards wide, long, on. Good stop by Ross Whiteley on the boundary. Turner wanted to come back and run 3. They'll have to settle for 2. Throw comes in from Gazanfar, but excellent by Whiteley on the boundary rope.
It is brilliant fielding. It's a parry. It looks 4 all the way. He parries it to Gazanfar and they only get 2.
Great work. Balls again to Turner. It's punched away into the offside this time. And Wayne Madsen's in front of the new hotel on the cover boundaries. So a single for Turner. He moves to 17, 156 for 5.
The management, the coaches at Lancashire will be wanting more. A real good finish here. Boundaries.
It's Jones looking for them. He's looking leg side as Anderson comes in and bowls to him. Just turn it to the leg side, but flicked out through square leg along the ground, and they'll come hurrying back for a couple. The throw comes in towards the keeper's end, and they have managed to force 2. Takes Jones to 5, the score to 158 for 5.
The other thing that we consider now is that Livingston injured won't bowl. I'm sure he can't have a passenger like that out in the field.
Which leaves Lancashire a
bowler short.
Yeah. Blatherwick, Wood, Mahmood, the quickies. As Anderson's into Jones. Muscled out towards the leg side. Oh, again, he's done really well, Ross Whiteley. That took a horrible bounce just in front of him. Super work. He's caught well, he's fielded well, he's done a terrific job out in the deep for Derbyshire today.
Does brilliantly there. He takes it on the body. They need all these runs. No Livingston to bowl.
159 for 5. Anderson to Turner. Well, that's a thick edge. That's gone down towards the boundary. Bonus runs, 4 of them for Lancashire Lightning off the bat of Turner, who moves to 21, 163 for 5.
No, these are good runs when you get it like this, the thick outside edge, and there's no slipping, and you anxiously look back and it flies away for 4.
Final ball of the 18th over. Turner on 21, not out as Martin Anderson comes in and bowls, and Turner steps to the leg side. In the end, the ball just squirts down towards short fine leg, where Chappell fields it and takes off his cap. He's going to have a ball from the Brian Statham end with 2 overs remaining for Lancashire Lightning. 164 for 5. Michael Jones on 6, and Ashton Turner is 22 not out.
Are they behind the clock? Because they're all running around frantically.
Cut-off time is 23 minutes past 4, and it's currently 20 past, so we've got 3 minutes to get this over in. Could be tight. Could be tight. With Chappell bowling from a long run up. Balls fall to Turner, thumped down the ground. Smashes into the stumps at the non-striker's end. They get through for 1.
Oh, that's a 4, isn't it? It's 4 all the way, dead straight, and he's knocked middle stump out. Driven it straight back. Umpire's in the firing line there.
Yeah, Jack Chantry having to shift out the way pretty sharpish. 165 for 5. Chappell over the wicket, bowls, driven in the air, down the ground, and bouncing just, I think, a fraction in front of Anderson, and they'll come back for 2. Anderson slipped on this greasy outfield. And they've managed to force 2, 167 for 5.
It's a flat shot. It's in the air, but it's dropping all the time as it gets to Anderson. Gets a shin on it. Hits him on the shins. They get 2, yes.
Jones moves to 8. Chappell for Derbyshire. Bounds in again. Bowls full and wide and driven off the bottom edge on the bounce back to Chappell. No run.
And if he'd have left that, it's a wide. It's outside of the blue guideline. Precious dot balls. He's all right from Chappell. Single, a 2, a dot ball.
3 to go in the over. Chappell to Jones. Looking to target that leg side boundary. In the end, it squirts off a toe end out towards the offside for a single to Jones. 168 for 5.
Well, he's guessed that he's going to bowl wide of off stump and full. He's got himself across into position. He's absolutely asking for it, and he gets a toe ender on it.
Chappell to Turner this time. That's driven along the ground through mid-off. So Anderson will come up from the boundary, they'll turn and they'll come hustling back for 2. And ran 2 more to push Lancashire Lightning to 170 on the board.
Big delivery, this next one. He hasn't gone for a boundary and he's bowling so wide. They know what he's going to bowl. He's going to bowl really wide of off stump.
Final ball of the over. Chappell bangs one in short and wide. Oh, and he's got it spot on. Through to the keeper, a dot ball to end it. 175 for 5. Jones 9 and Turner on 25 with 1 over remaining.
That's marginal, that last delivery. He's bowled so wide. Looked as if it was going to be given a wide, but he gets away with it, so it's an excellent over. 6 deliveries, 170 for 5. They need all these runs. Lancashire Lightning, they're a bowler down. You always want a valve bowler, somebody who can bowl 1 or 2 overs somewhere. Pat Brown to finish off. It'll be a box of tricks from Pat Brown. He'll run a long way and bowl a number of slower deliveries. And his third man and fine leg are inside the circle. He's going to bowl a lot of slowies here. The ramp shot's on.
Third man, fine leg up inside the circle.
Well, they're bringing mid-off into the circle. I'm just wondering if they'd be penalised and have to bring another fielder in. If they've got to have 5 inside the circle, they've been penalised. They have. They have. The 5 inside, haven't they? 1,
yes.
2, 3. Samit Patel 4. Mid-off has had to come in. That's 5. They're behind the clock.
About a minute short, weren't they? Cut-off time 23 minutes past. It's just ticked on to 24. Again, just slightly changing the field, but I'm going to cover out on the boundary and then 3 on the leg side, long on, deep mid-wicket and deep backward square leg. Big conversations going on here between bowler and captain and senior pros. Wayne Madson's there, Samit Patel's there.
The umpire has tried to tell them, look, you've got to get on with this. They're not taking a blind bit of notice.
6 balls remaining for Lancashire Lightning. What can they squeeze out of this final over? Pat Brown for Derbyshire, bowling from the James Anderson end. He's got Michael Jones on strike, unbeaten on 9. Here is Brown in and bowls to Jones, cracked away through the offside, but there is a fielder sweeping on that boundary in Martin Anderson to just a single. He moves to 10, 171 for 5.
And that's the first slowy. The ramp shot's on, but he's not going to. I don't think he's going to give you any pace to just tip it over the keeper's head. Where's the vacant area? Over long off.
Yeah, Madsen inside the circle at mid-off. Brown hustling his way back in again. 5 balls left for Lancashire Lightning. Driven towards mid-off. Madsen goes away to his right. Tumbling stop to deny any further runs. Just a single taken. Turner moves to 26, 172 for 5.
Just keep your eye on Madsen at mid-off. They've got to be inside the circle when he delivers. All the infielders are right on the edge. Samit Patel as captain, he's outside. Short third is outside. Mid-off is outside.
Here is Brown in and bowls to Jones, angled in towards him, full of length. In the end, just brings the bat down, squirts it into the offside for a single. 173 for 5.
No skullduggery, they all get inside. They just about get inside. So it's good. You just start outside and make sure that you just come inside. Good over so far. 3 singles from Pat Brown. Big finish. 3 deliveries. Big finish, Lancs.
So many times you see a good first half for an over bowling to the bowler or to the batter, and it switches. And then balls, it's gone through Turner, and through to Brooke Guest. It really is excellent from Pat Brown.
It is fabulous bowling. And you can see he wants to go mid-off. The ramp shot's on, but he's not giving him that length. He's bowling as full as he can. Bowled a couple of great Yorkers. 3 dot balls. No, 3 ones, 3 singles and 1 dot ball.
173 for 5, 2 balls remaining. Turner 26. In comes Brown over the wicket. Balls to Turner, club down the ground. Up towards long on. Donald is there. They want to come back for 2. He's been run out. So it's Jones who's gone as they try to come back for the second to keep Turner on strike, I guess. Jones has been run out at the bowler's end. Lancashire lose their 6th wicket with the run out. Throw come in from Donald to the bowler's end. Brown did the rest.
Well, it's getting better still for Derbyshire. Trying to keep Turner on strike. It means it's just a single scored there. Did get a single. They were going for the 2, didn't make the ground, but they do get the single. 174 for 6, 1 delivery to go.
An outstanding final over this has been from Pat Brown.
Excellent.
Last ball, Turner's on strike, 174 for 6. Brown in to Turner, it's down the leg side, it's gone beyond the reach of the keeper, Brooke Guest, and he's gone for 4 as well. He's got something on it as Turner. He's moved on to 31 not out to finish on 31 not out. And 4 off the final ball, just taking a little bit, potentially just a little bit of shine off what was up until that a brilliant final over.
It was, and he's tried to get his Yorker in. He's bowled quite a high full toss down the leg side, and he got a glove on it. Just evaded the wicket keeper, Brooke Guest. And it's really a bonus boundary there right at the end. An excellent over. Pat Brown, 4 overs, none for 35. So Lancs, 178 for 6. They'll need all of those.
Thank you, David Lloyd. We're going to get some reaction from out in the middle in the next few moments. Keaton Jennings just in conversation with Ashton Turner. I think we can head outside now and speak to Turner. He's with Fraser Dainton.
Yeah, Ashton Turner joining me now. Some really useful and important runs for you at the end there. How was it?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not far away from par. I mean, it's a pretty good wicket. But I think we've got a lot of confidence in our bowling attack at the moment, and hopefully we've got enough on the board.
You came in when it was looking a little bit sticky there in a little while. What was it like in terms of how the ball seemed to be sticking to the wicket a little bit for you?
Yeah, I mean, towards the back end, it's harder to tell. They go a bit more defensive, bowl a few more Yorkers. It takes the wicket out of it, but we saw earlier it looked a little bit tough. I mean, some of the best white ball batters in the world were probably striking it under their career averages, so hopefully that'll assist our bowlers a little bit, but even if it's a good wicket, I feel like it's a pretty good total still.
The bowlers showed what they could do last night in that fantastic win. You've got to do it again now this time round, and without Liam Livingstone by the looks of things.
Yeah, but I mean, the games are coming thick and fast at the moment, and one of the great things about T20 cricket is momentum plays such an important role in that, and we've got momentum on our side. We've been playing good in all formats over the last couple of weeks, last couple of months, and hopefully we can carry that momentum into tonight and also the next block of T20 games.
Well done, Ashton. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Ashton Turner there with some very useful and very important runs at the back end of that innings. 178 for 6, the final score. Paul, what did you make of that?
Look, I think that's a decent total. I think the Lancashire Lightning players would have wanted a few more than that at one stage, because obviously when they were going really well with Salt and Butler, they'd have probably wanted to get 190 and above. But looking at the surface, I reckon 178 is a decent total. I think they're going to have to bowl well, get the lines and lengths really well, hit those lengths well, hit those lines, and I think field really, really well, a really good fielding performance, and I think they'll be okay in this game. Because the pitch is a little bit stop and start. The odd one's sticking, isn't it? Odd one's sticking in the pitch at certain lengths, other one's just sliding through. So it's not easy to ball strike, certainly when you first come in. So Lancashire ball well, field well, I think they'll be okay, but they can't underestimate this Derbyshire Falcons team. Got some experience here that's played on pitches like this before, and with Sammy Patel in the team, he's ball well today, but also with Madsen as well, they're never beaten. So Lancashire are going to have to ball well and field well, but if they do, I think they'll be all right.
We would have expected Liam Livingstone probably to be part of the bowling lineup. It doesn't look as if that's going to happen. That could be a real crucial blow as far as Lancashire are concerned.
Yeah, I think a big blow for Lancashire and perhaps a big blow for Liam Livingstone as well, because he was looking in good nick out there today, and if it is an hamstring, I'm not sure whether it is or not, it certainly looked like that, then they can be not the easiest to recover from, and I know he does have a history of a couple of hamstring injuries, so from that perspective it's a blow for him and it's a blow for Lancashire, and also because he would have bowled, we know he bowls his off spin, he bowls his leg spin, he's always a handful, and he's a good pair of hands in the field as well, so yeah, that's a blow, big blow.
The bowling unit were incredibly tight against the Steelbacks last night. They're going to have to do it again tough tonight, aren't they?
Exactly that, but within the unit they've got pace, they've got medium pace, they've got spin. And I really like the look of Chris Green. I just think the odd one's beginning to grip and spin in here, so as Chris Green comes into the game with the ball, he might just get the odd one to grip and cause them some problems if they get Derbyshire under pressure.
It is fascinatingly poised. Derbyshire made 178, and of course Lancashire now need to make sure that they keep them underneath that total for Derbyshire, as we see how the second innings unfolds. And of course the Emirates first ball flyer will be coming as well. If a Lancashire bowler takes a wicket with the first ball bowled of the innings, then somebody here could be going to Dubai, courtesy of our headline sponsors Emirates. So the Emirates first ball flyer on the way, and the run chase for Derbyshire very, very soon.
When I was a kid, there was no professional women's cricket. I didn't even think that women could be professional sports people.
Especially early on, it just didn't really seem like there was a career in it.
To support myself around cricket, I had to work at the petrol garage.
I was the only girl, so I stood out.
I'd love for young girls to be able to dream about being an athlete and it to be achievable.
Thanks to the Hilton funding my contract, it's allowed me to play the game that I love all day, every day.
We're like an engine and we need to be fueled with the right gas.
Without funding, we can't be visible. You can't be what you can't see.
As a team, it feels like we're breaking boundaries.
Thunder and Lancashire always want to put women's cricket at the forefront, and now I think that's really shining through.
It's mad to think that without the Hilton funding, like, we wouldn't be playing cricket every day, training.
Well, we could be, but we wouldn't have any money.
We wouldn't, yeah, true.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary.
This is a call for hungry dreamers and hard-working self-believers. Success is down to more than just luck and talent. It's striving to be the best, breaking the boundaries and never giving up. Are you ready to become your best self? Are you ready to unlock your greatness? So what are you waiting for? This is Education Evolved. This is UA 92.
It's not the number of games often, it's how it's being played. For us, Lancashire Thunder, we've got 16 Vitality Blast games and 8 of them are back-to-back games. We've just had a 2-week period of break, so it's not the number of games, it's how they're scheduled and the travel in between. So Essex women are going from here today to Oval to play tomorrow. Lancs travelled last night, and now one of the best international T20 players in Liam Livingston has pulled a hamstring. It's a cry from the players really around the scheduling, and something that the ECB really need to look into.
It is, and maybe we'll see some, well, we're certain to see something kind of develop on that over the course of the next few weeks and months, as the new schedule for 2026 at some point will be announced. In the here and now, 179 is a target for Derbyshire to try and get themselves a victory here and deny Lancashire. What do you pay? I think they've won 3 on the spin now. I think, yeah, they've beaten Worcestershire, Derbyshire. Sorry, yeah, Worcestershire, Derbyshire, and Northamptonshire in away games leading up to this fixture. So they're looking for a 4th straight win, and it's a win that would take them to the top of the North Group table as well. So we'll see whether 178 is enough. Thank you, Phoebe. We'll bring Bumble back in. Phoebe will be back with us a little bit later on. We've got the first ball flyer taking place as well. So if there's a wicket with this delivery from Luke Wood, then one lucky person will win 2 tickets to, I think it's Dubai. So 1 wicket, 2 tickets, and off on a free ticket for a holiday. So here's Luke Wood into Caleb Jewell, left arm over, balls, edge gone! First ball from Luke Wood, caught by Keaton Jennings, and Caleb Jewell's gone. Wicket with the first ball. Lancashire off to a flyer, and someone's off to a flyer to Dubai. 0-for-1 at Derbyshire.
Oh, I forgot the prize. What a start. Fabulous. Luke Wood, left arm over. Nick, first slip in, gone. Dubai, here we come. Who's it going to be?
I don't know how the next bit works, actually.
No, I don't know.
No.
We'll find out.
Does anyone know how the next bit works?
Yes. And they're off to Dubai.
Here we go. Let's look at back at this. Woods picking up the first wicket with the first ball.
Left arm. Oh, a swing. Oh, what a beauty. What an absolute ripper. Oh. You don't see many white ball swingers. Left arm over, Luke Wood. Beautiful delivery at good pace, decent pace. I wonder if they've got a ticket. I mean, they aren't half celebrating in the slips. Jennings is still at it. Has he got a ticket? Do you have to have a ticket?
Right. It's a blistering start. And it's not for one. As Wood is in, balls again to Anderson. Him! 2-2, the off stump's out the ground. Wood's off to a flyer, as are Lancashire Lightning. 2-2 to start the run chase.
Another massive swinger. Where's this swing coming from? We never talk about swing. It's an absolute beauty. quick enough, Luke Wood. Racing in. What a set of gnashes he's got as well. What a smile, Luke Wood. Wonderful haircut, bit of gel. Boy next door. Devastating. You have a look at this, Scott Reed. Look at the swing on this. He's nowhere near it. Quick, high 80s. Swinging back into the right-hander. On a hat-trick. Hat-trick last night there was.
Oh, it's a beauty. It's a beauty from Luke Wood. Well, Lancashire waited 21 years for their second T20 hat-trick. Dominic Cork in 2004, Saqib Mahmood in 2025, and that was just last night. They can't have a third hat-trick in T20 cricket in back-to-back games. Here's Luke Wood to Wayne Madsen, hat-trick ball, in and balls, and carved away into the offside for no run.
He dropped his length back. Get it up there. It's swinging round corners, these two deliveries that he's got the wickets with. Tom Hartley's on as substitute. That'll be for Liam Livingstone. But a perfect start when you're a bowler down. Now, he's the best player, Madsen. Has been for a long time. Donald at the other end just watching. 2 down.
Thinking, thank goodness I'm not on strike. Wood, left arm over, bowls to Madsen. He swings an inside edge and the ball ricochets past the stumps down towards short, fine leg. And Madsen gets a run, as indeed to Derbyshire. 2 wickets from the first 2 balls.
Well, he's from the Statham end, his left arm over to a right-handed batsman, swinging it back into the pads. He's got a breeze, which is a lovely breeze. Perfect breeze for this style of bowling.
Donald's on strike. He's watched the chaos unfold, but has a chance to bat here. Wood in bowls, plays forward and defends. Pushes towards mid-off, and there's no run.
He's got it right. Left arm over, pitch it up there. Give it chance to swing. The second one, sometimes you get carried away and say that's unplayable. That was an absolute beauty. It swung in about its last 3 metres. It's going straight and then swung. He ain't playing that.
For our viewers on Lancs TV, we'll be finding out who's got the tickets to Dubai at the end of this over. Someone lucky in the ground.
Really?
Oh, aye. Here's Wood in and balls to Donald. Full length ball dug out by Donald and squirts it out towards deep square leg where Jack Blatherwick fields, and there's 1 run. That's the end of the over. What a start. 2 for 2 Derbyshire, chasing 179 to win. For viewers on Lancs TV, let's go and find out who's going to Dubai.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have an Emirates first ball flyer winner! So keep your eyes on the big screen, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to pick somebody out in the ground for 2 tickets to Dubai. Keep your eyes on the screen. We're going to move out. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to find somebody for 2 tickets to Dubai. Keep your eyes on the big screen. Who's it going to be? Who is it going to be? There we go. 2 winners. Tickets to Dubai. Make your way to the front of your stand, please. Make your way to the front of your stand. And you have won 2 tickets to Dubai, courtesy of Emirates.
Thank you. Well done to those 2 lucky supporters who have got themselves a ticket. Here's Mahmood in balls, carved away down towards third man, and it's stopped on the rope. I couldn't quite see. It's Jack Blatherwick. Excellent work down the third man boundary. And off they run there. They run 2. I've lost track of what's going on here now. It's all no, they've run 1. They've run 3 for 1. 3 for 2 Derbyshire.
Fabulous fielder, Jack Blatherwick. Looked as if that was going to be 4 all the way. What a day. You come out, let's go watch a bit of cricket. Come on. Double header. Watch the women first, watch the blokes next. And we've won 2 tickets.
3 for 2. Mahmood in and balls again to Madsen. Cut down towards wide third. Blatherwick's there, puts the dive in, couldn't quite stop it. just beyond his reach. And this young man in the stand looking to try and find the ball. It's gone for 4, 7 for 2.
Back of a length, short and wide. A banging delivery, and Jack Blatherwick just doesn't get there, and he bounces onto the concrete, into the seats.
Madsen moves to 5. 7 for 2. We're in the second over. I feel like it's been going about half an hour, this innings. 172 more runs to win. Here is Saki Mahmood. Hat-trick for him last night. In balls to Madsen. It's just dropped into the onside. Oh, they could be run out of the ball. As if he hits, he's gone. Donald was halfway down. He was sent back by Madsen. Throw came in from Mahmood. I think it bounced over the top.
He bounced it in front of the stumps, and it bounced over the top. It was accurate enough. It's on line, but it bounces over the top, and the fielder couldn't just get in there and knock it onto the stumps. Donald's nearly run 2 there. Madsen not interested. And we saw the ball swing from Luke Wood. And Saki Mahmood has gone back of a length. He's not just giving that ball time to swing.
So 1, 4 and a dot. Almost a run out so far on the over. 7 for 2, Derbyshire. Mahmood comes in and balls again to Madsen. That's pushed away into the offside. Gathered by Turner, who's at cover point, and there's no run.
Just a touch of outswing there. And again, that the breeze is perfect for him. The 2 that's won the... Well, you can imagine the conversation, can't you? Where's Dubai? Where's that? It's near Scotland.
2 to go in the over. Wayne Madsen's on 5. Here's Mahmood taking a breath. Not surprised. Madsen waits, slip in place. Mahmood in, balls. Madsen drives. 1 bounce towards Luke Wells, who takes the catch on the bounce, and there's no run.
Will I need a top court?
Quick look on the map, maybe now, just to locate it.
Oh, it's a grand spot. It is a grand spot.
Final ball of the second over. 7 for 2, Derbyshire. Here is Mahmood in and balls to Madsen. It's down the leg side. Butler, who's keeping wicket for Lancashire, just leaning to his left to take the catch, and half an appeal for a little snick behind, but it's been called a wide by the umpire. So to ball it again will Mahmood.
Plenty of wicket-keeping options. Phil Salt, George Bell, Matt Hurst.
Actually, I think Hurst might be out there
as well
because of Livingston's injury.
No, it's Tom Hartley's on.
Here is Mahmood in balls. That's nudged away back down the ground, gathered by Mahmood off his own bowling, and there is no run. End of the over. 2 gone. Derbyshire 8 for 2, chasing 179 to win.
Excellent start then for Lancs, keeping things very, very quiet. 2 wickets down. So Derbyshire, bottom of the league, have got it all to do. Run rate required is 9.5, target of 179.
It's been an eventful start. Because of this guy, really, Luke Wood. 2 from 2 to start it. Balls again, pushed away into the offside by Donald, bouncing up towards Jones at cover. There's no run.
Swing. Again, it's swinging. I get excited. You don't see these balls swing. Always like a left arm. Always like a left armer. Different angle.
Turns and sets off again. Slightly angled approach and straightens as he comes bustling in and balls just back of a length to Donald, trying to whip it out towards the leg side. I don't think he's got much bat on that. No, he hasn't. Leg by from Jack Chantry, the umpire. So Donald remains on 2. The score moves on by 1 leg by. 9 for 2 now, Derbyshire.
And they've shifted the slip. There's no catcher in there. There was a slip and a leg slip. Now they've gone. The outfielders are at deep square leg and deep third man.
Wood comes in for Lancashire. Past the umpire, balls again. Wraps onto the pads of Madsen as he looks to try and flash it out through the leg side. Maybe a little bit of inside edge onto the pad. Yeah, there is. A little inside edge onto the pad, so Madsen gets a run. Moves to 6, 10 for 2 in the third.
He's getting it through, his Luke Wood. His rhythm looks absolutely perfect. He's full of confidence, 2 in 2. Just swinging it back into the right-handers at good pace.
Donald on 2, waiting for Wood. Who has hit the ground running for Lancashire Lightning in. Ball's low full toss, punched away into the offside, no run. Of course, Lancashire last night, when they were bowling against the Northamptonshire Steelbacks, ended their bowling innings with 4 wickets from the final 4 balls. Run out, then the hat-trick for Mahmood. And 24 hours later, they started with 2 wickets from their first 2 balls. And a bit of a roll of Lancashire's bowlers at the minute. Picking up from last night. Wood 2 for 3. 2 balls left for the third over. Derbyshire 10 for 2. There's Luke Wood in again and balls. That's worked out towards the onside, a ball that comes off the inner half of the bat, deflecting down towards Saqib Mahmood at short fine leg for a single. Donald to 3 now, 11 for 2.
So is it technically a quiz question? Which team took 6 wickets with consecutive deliveries? It's a bit of a trick question, isn't it?
Yeah.
4 last night, 2 today.
Yep.
No, it's got legs, is that?
Yeah.
Which team took 6 wickets with consecutive deliveries?
11 for 2, final ball of the third. Wood tearing in, balls again, worked away off the hit by Madsen down to fine leg, where Jack Blatherwick is fielding. Madsen takes a single and he pinches the strike as well. So he's on 7, 3 overs gone. It's been a blistering start across BBC Radio Lancashire, the BBC Sport website and app. We're on Lancs TV as well, the T20 Blast fixture live from Emirates Old Trafford, where Lancashire Lightning are playing the Derbyshire Falcons. Derbyshire set a target of 179 to win. 2 wickets in 2 balls. The very first 2 balls of the innings was the most outrageous start really for Lancashire Lightning. Madsen and Donald trying to rebuild, but with lots and lots of work to do. Saqib Mahmood about to set off for his second over of the afternoon. It's dry, but it's blustery conditions, cloudy skies, floodlights are on. And Mahmood from the Anderson end bowls to Madsen, steps to the leg side, play and a miss through to Butler, no run.
I'm just thinking, is there another bowler somewhere that we've not seen? That Livingston is off the field, so he's not going to bowl. Keaton Jennings bowls a bit of medium, gentle medium pace. I've seen him bowl somewhere. Michael Jones? Never seen him bowl. Keaton Jennings definitely bowls a bit of wicket to wicket medium.
Ashton Turner, I think, bowls a bit of off spin.
Oh, does he?
I think so, yeah. In and balls Mahmood. Steps across the stumps, Madsen trying to ramp it, but through to the keeper, no run. In fact, he has bowled, I think, 1 over in the Blast this season, thinking about it, Ashton Turner. I think he's bowled 1 over in this competition.
So he does have an option of a 6th bowler. You always need it. You always need one. If somebody goes the distance, you can take him off and just have somebody come on for 1 over.
Jennings currently at slip. Wells at short cover. 4 in the circle on the offside. Mahmood in and balls to Madsen. Again, he's gone to ramp it. It's in the air. It'll land just beyond the reach of Butler. He seemed to get himself into a really awkward position to play it, Madsen, but maybe in the end played it very, very well because Mahmood followed him. 13 for 2. Madsen to 8.
I'm just watching, and right in the distance in front of the hotel, Fraser's over there. There's a film crew with him as well. So I'd suggest, that Giraffe's with them as well. That it's the people that's won the raffle, won the tickets for the flights. He's probably going to have a chat with them.
3 balls left of the 4th over. Mahmood to Donald, hammered away through the offside, out towards deep extra cover. That'll be 4. That's a welcome boundary for Derbyshire. They've been, in fact, it might even be the the first of their, it is the first of their reply. Drilled firmly away through cover by Donald for 4.
Be an absolute killer if you ask them, and where have you come from? Dubai.
2 balls left of the over, 17 for 2. Donald on 7, Manson on 8. And got Mahmood into his 3rd over. Gillen balls 2. Donald, big appeal for LBW. He likes that. There's Mahmood. Look at Keaton Jennings, he likes it even more. But the umpire doesn't. Shakes his head, says not out.
3 big appeals. Leg side. Going down the leg side. Yeah, where do you live? Where do you come from? We live in Dubai. Any chance of a fortnight in Wigan? Very nice Wigan this time of year. Lovely.
Final ball of the 4th over, 17 for 2. Donald on 7. Here comes Mahmood in to complete the over. Balls to Donald, muscled in the air and just beyond Hartley inside the circle at mid-wicket. Salt coming to sweep up behind him and does so. And they've completed 2 at the end of that over. So we've had 4. The Derbyshire score is 19 for 2. Madsen 8, Donald on 9. And our viewers on Lancs TV, we're going to be heading
Ladies and gentlemen, I am in the stand here with our winners from the Emirates first ball flyer. Please give a big round of applause for Nicholas Sinclair. Nicholas, congratulations. How does that feel?
Fantastic, yeah, great surprise, yeah.
How exciting was that?
Unbelievable.
Have you ever been to Dubai before?
We've not, no.
Nowhere like that before.
So excited by this?
Very.
Tremendously, yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much.
You send us lots of pictures, won't you?
We will do, yeah, we will.
Have a fantastic time. Nicholas Sinclair, ladies and gents, winners at the Emirates first ball flyer.
Lightning in and balls, thick edge over the keeper, down towards the boundary, and it's gone for 4 runs. Madsen with the boundary, he moves to 12, 23 for 2 as we start the 5th.
And the little lad feels this. He's played it, there's no slip there, short and wide. Swirl of the bat and he gets a, well, I don't think he's a top edge, I think he plays this off the face of the bat. Purposely down there, 3rd man is inside the circle.
12 off 13 for Wayne Madsen. Wood in, balls again. Oh, he swung and missed this time. Through to the keeper. .23 for 2, aiming for mid-wicket was Wayne Madsen. Left arm over Luke Wood. Nice pace and bounce through to Butler. 3rd on the spin, this, isn't it, for Wood as well? Inside this power play. 2 for 9.
Yeah, it'd be interesting how he handles this, Keaton Jennings, with that baller down. He might just have another up his sleeve.
Wood to Madsen, wide and driven down the ground, bouncing over the umpire, down towards the boundary below us, and all the way over the rope for 4. And Madsen doing his best to try and piece things back together and get Derbyshire back on track. 27 for 2 halfway through the 5th.
And this is what you get with these white balls. I was so excited that it was swinging like you wouldn't believe, and then it just seems to stop. Same bowler, same conditions. Hardly moving now.
Woods made the most of what swing he was getting inside that first couple of overs. Balls again to Madsen, that comes back in towards him, flicks it with a bit of bottom hand in towards the onside, and Luke Wells is at mid-wicket to field, and there's no run.
It's just a little bit of swing there, but it wasn't that swing that we saw earlier where it swung late, really late. That's almost swung from his hand. Much easier for batters to line that up if they can see it straight from the hand.
27 for 2 in the 5th. 4 through the course of this over. 2 to go. Here's Wood tearing in again. Balls once more off the pads by Madsen. Jack Blatherwick deep back with square leg to field. Madsen moves to 17. Score to 28 for 2.
Donald on 9 from 10. run rate it's just dropped ever so slightly. Well, 9.96, 10. You've got to keep going. You know, the way that they've started with 2 wickets down into the 5th over. At the end of the 5th over, 1 ball to go.
Changing the field with 3rd man coming up. So there's an extra fielder on that leg side boundary out towards the hotel. Deep backward square leg and a deep mid wicket. Last ball of the 5th over. Here's Wood for Lancashire. In bowls, back of the length. The ramps on, but he's not got it. And Mahmood's there to take the catch. And Donald has gone for 9. 3rd wicket for Luke Wood. And Derbyshire are 3 down inside the power play. 28 for 3. Wood's now got 3 for 14, and Donald departs for 9.
Yeah, good decision to keep him on, bowl him his 3rd over. It looks to be an awkward shot. Never really got into position to play that ramp shot. It got a little bit big on him. And I suppose that they would all say that there's no easy catches. That's just straight to him, very, very gently. 3 for. Excellent start from Luke Wood.
Meanwhile, we'll check on the test match where India in their 2nd innings are 427 for 6, and they have declared to set England 608 runs to win. India have scored more than 1,000 runs in a test match for the first time in their history.
How many do England need?
608.
Get them.
Knock them off before tea tomorrow.
Been dangerous to declare. Only 600, good gracious.
Final over of the power play. Here's Saqib Mahmood from the Anderson end. Bowls to Wayne Manson. And that's cut out through the offside, or cut away through the offside. Ashton Turner's at backward point of field. Manson gets a single. He moves to 18, 29 for 3.
See a day to bat plus today. You'll see ramp shots, reverse sweeps, the lot trying to save the game. I was with Geoffrey Boycott this week. Oh, that was good. With Jeff at York. He said, they don't leave it, there's nobody leaving them. He said, why can't they block? They play too many shots. Number 10 were 80 and number 6 were 120. Why can't they leave them? Ridiculous. They play a shot a ball and there's no need for it.
5 balls left of the power play. Guess waits as Mahmood comes in and bowls. Slip in place, punched into the offside by Brooke Guest, fielded by Ashton Turner inside the circle, and there's no run.
Who's coaching them? They shouldn't be letting them get away with this. Keep playing shots. Number 10 was 80, Ben Cord, and Matt Revis was 120. Playing brilliantly. Too many shots.
Yeah, it was a 4-day game at York, wasn't it? Very nice. Been some good outground cricket in the last month or so.
They won it. Yorkshire won it.
Yeah, against Essex. Mahmood over the wicket, balls to Guest. That comes back in towards him, just jabs the ball away into the offside for a single. Doubles his, I guess his first run rather, moves to 1. 30 for 3.
They were dead and buried, Yorkshire. Maybe 7-8 down, 100 and odd behind. Finished up with a lead of 100. And then reduced them to 120 for 7. Knocked 40 odd off and won the game.
There has been scattered in some rather dull cricket.
Well,
some good
Chesterfield.
games.
Chesterfield was good. I was lucky. I was at Chesterfield, then I went to York, and criticism of the Kookaburra ball. They were 2 good games.
Mahmood to Madsen, in and ball, just trying to run it down towards 3rd man, but it just jabs back in towards him. Played away into the offside, no run. Yeah, Lancashire with a cracking win last week at Chesterfield against Derbyshire. First county championship win of the season. Drew against Kent before that. Could go top of the Blast League tonight. A lot of ground for optimism going into this second half of the season.
I thought Jimmy Anderson was excellent, leading the attack and captain. You knew he was captain. I thought he was good.
2 to go with the power play. Mahmood just 2 off the over so far. In and balls to Madsen, a slow ball as he clears short, fine leg. Oh, Jennings is reaching for it. And the ball might, in the end, run towards the rope. No, it's fielded by Salt. Madsen's run 3, and Jennings wasn't far away. stretching for it, reaching as far as he could. Couldn't quite get fingertips on it, the Lancashire captain. Running backwards from short, fine leg. Just had enough to get beyond Jennings' reach. 33 for 3, Madsen to 21. Final ball of Mahmood's third over, and indeed the final over of what has been an excellent power play for Lancashire Lightning. Mahmood to Guest, drives, but an inside edge. Oh, and Mahmood's pulled up. I hope he's okay. He's stretching his knee, flexing his left knee. Let's hope he's okay. End of the over that. Guest has gone to 2. 34 for 3 after the power play. Bumble, you stay there for a few minutes?
All right.
That's okay. And Phoebe will come and join you for a minute.
I've got you. I think he's all right, Saqib Mahmood. He just held his knee after he's followed through, but he's just putting his sweater on and wandering back to his fielding position. He's okay. 34 for 3 after the power play, so run rate is going the wrong way for Derbyshire. 10.36 required from now on in. Jack Blatherwick comes into the attack.
Well, I was thinking Luke Wood would have bowled his 4 out there. He was outstanding in the power play. 3 overs, 3 for 14, and Mahmood played a lovely supporting act from the other end. We'll see a change of bowling here from Blatherwick, who comes in to Guest. Fuller and driven to mid-off for no run.
He's just getting a game or two, is Jack Blatherwick. Tom Aspinwall, he must be all right, Tom Aspinwall, because he was out there bowling for a long time. He's another medium fast who can give it a bit of a tonk as well.
Yeah, he's played really well this year as Blatherwick. He's done well with the ball, had a few good knocks, and outstanding fielder. As he comes in, hits a hard length, and it's worked down to backwards square, and they come back for 2.
I think he's a little bit quicker than you think. He's a good build for a quick bowler. He's young enough. There's a night where you've got to get rid of your bad ball.
I think he's done that a lot this year, actually, because I think previous few years you've seen him get hit for a lot more runs, but he seems to have got a bit more consistency in his action as he comes in, hits that length, and worked through to square leg for a single. And he hits the pitch hard. It almost comes off the pitch quicker than it's in the air with Blatherwick.
Well, I say he's got a good build for a quick bowler, and he's one of these that in the game they say, oh, he's got a heavy ball. I mean, just comes on you a little bit quicker than you expect. But like you say, if he can have that control as well.
It's Blatherwick in, and Madsen works that through to square leg. Sort of swivels round on that, does Madsen, just for the single. How good was that first ball from Luke Wood, anyway?
Well, the first 2, they were absolute screamers. I mean, big swing. From our position here, we're in a great position, and we've got the screen, TV screen. Second one were unplayable. He ain't playing that.
Blatherwick in and worked through the onside for a single. Yeah, swinging Yorker from Luke Wood to get Martin Anderson for that second delivery of the day, second wicket of the day. First wicket caught at first slip by Keaton Jennings. And from that wicket, we got 2 free tickets to Dubai for 2 of the members of the crowd. Not a bad day out, that, is it? There's Blatherwick in and worked through the onside again by Madsen. Luke Wood runs round and does the work. Tidy over.
Yeah, it is. It's a good over. Didn't go for any boundaries. A few singles, which has increased the run rate required to 10.69. On TV screen, it's T-shirt time again.
It's worth coming down to Emirates Old Trafford. Anyone that's listening, there's T-shirts, there's trips to Dubai, there's Luke Wood on show, there's wickets, there's runs, there's everything here today, isn't there?
Should be some ice creams as well. When the weather's nice, you
They're
get
not
some
good to
6
throw
ice
to the
creams.
fans, though, are they?
Well, you can't throw them, no. Go around with them on a tray.
Suggest that to Colin.
With a quiz question, like an easy quiz question, and you get an ice cream. Yeah.
There we go, Colin, if you're listening, our producer would like some ice cream giveaways for the next game at Emirates Old Trafford, which is tomorrow. Lancashire Thunder take on Birmingham Bears tomorrow. 1 o'clock start here at Emirates Old Trafford. Change of bowling, Chris Green into the attack, who Madsen works that to square leg off the back foot for a single. Saw Samit Patel bowl really nicely for Derbyshire, finding his length, and it just seemed to be a bit tacky and sticking the wicket. It'll be interesting to see if Green takes his pace off here a little bit. In and struggles to work that anywhere, does Guest. Straight into mid-wicket.
He's a different bowler than Patel, isn't he? Much taller, and he'll bowl it quicker. He'll bowl it into the pitch.
Green in and advances, and big thick inside edge, and Jennings goes to the bowler's end. Safely back. His Guest looks like he's got a bit of turn there. Green. Green in and reversed, switch hit. Did it go all the way? No, it's 1 bounce 4. It's a great shot from Wayne Madsen there.
It is. I think this is a bit slower. I don't think you'll get too many of these, but he gets the length that he wanted. Hits it towards the hotel.
Big deep breath from Chris Green. He's in, and Madsen goes down the ground. Look to come back for 2, but restricted by the 1 from Phil Salt.
To see if he does spin it. I mean, I don't think this is a spinning pitch. Patel didn't spin any. Luke Wells is not a big spinner if he comes into the attack. It looks a tacky pitch, though.
Green in and reverse switch again. Just works it for the single to deep backward point. And that'll be 8 from the over from Chris Green. The run rate is creeping up to 11s now. As Derbyshire are 48 for 3. We just see the replay here of Luke Wood's initial delivery, first delivery of the day. And the second one, the swinging Yorker, unplayable. And then his 3rd wicket for the day. Slow into the pitch. Look to work it down to find a simple catch for Saqib Mahmood. Fantastic opening spell there by Luke Wood.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And we're going to see spin from both ends. Luke Wells. He bowls leg spin, but he don't spin many. He just rolls them out of the front of his hand. He's very, very tall, and he bowls it at a good pace. And he's a leg spinner that has a bit of a run up. You don't get many leg spinners now, do you? That have a run up. They usually will just creep in.
Effective bowler as well in T20. In and goes down the leg side. Must have clipped the thigh pad of Guest because no wide is signalled. Yeah, he's made himself a good T20 all-round player as Luke Wells over the past few years. With the ball in hand, he gallops in and slaps that down the ground for a single, does Guest.
See, we saw Gazanfar, but he's billed as a mystery spinner. But nothing's spoken, so you just got to play him as a medium pacer. I don't bother what happens in his hand. He ain't spinning him, so you just play him as a little medium pacer.
Well, that back of a length's tricky to play. And
Yeah,
when
it
we
is.
saw
That's it. Yeah, yeah.
Livingston advance and use his feet, it was a really good option. He works back off the back foot and crunches that through the leg side for a single.
If you get somebody like Shane Warne at Muralic, you know it's going to spin. He'll spin it on anything, but Luke Wells just rolls it out to the front of his hand. He ain't going to spin many.
As he comes in, Madsen gives himself room, but crunches that to Jennings in at cover. Apologies, that was Guest, in fact. Wells into Guest. Guest again tries to work that off his pads. Doesn't manage to get any contact. Another good dot ball for Wells here. Just 2 off the over so far. He'll want to get out of this over to stem the run rate again for Lancashire. And Guest off the back foot drives that down the ground for a single. It's a good over by Wells. 3 from it. Derbyshire 51 for 3 off 9.
And again, you're looking as a captain, just push that rate back, and it's going up all the time. It'll rock it up now. 11.64 required from now. And so we're looking at the Worms. We've got the Worms on the screen. They're way behind Derbyshire and the 3 down, so it needs something special. Both these batters are finding it difficult to get to the boundary. It is really a boundary count now. You've got to find 4s and 6s.
Absolutely. The time to capitalise was in the power play, but Luke Wood, Saqib Mahmood were on absolute fire. Luke Wood taking 3 in the power play. We've got Turner in. And Guest goes down to slog sweep and misjudges that line. It goes straight to the keeper for no run. And Turner in again, worked off the legs into the deep mid-wicket for a single. So a lot of work for Derbyshire to do here. Paul Shaw joins me on the mic again.
Yes, certainly a bit of work for Madsen and co to do here.
Madsen off the back foot, wide, and punches that straight to cover. He'll be frustrated that he missed out on that one. A very wide and loose delivery. Turner in, and Madsen off the back foot, finds the pocket nicely. It looks like it's going to go all the way. It does. That's a much needed boundary for Derbyshire. And with pinpoint precision off the back foot, Madsen works that.
The key to this is timing, isn't it? He just picks the length, times that ball, hits the gap perfectly, almost like threading a needle. It's a ball timed away to the mid-wicket boundary.
Turner in and worked off his legs again to deep mid-wicket. Just a single for Madsen.
Yeah, these two it's really important to build a partnership, but they can't do it slowly, can they? They've got to get the tempo up as well.
Turner in, and Guest just works that as a slow forward defence. They look to come back for 2, they do. Just 8 from the over. We see the run rate creep up again, and at the halfway stage, Derbyshire are 59 for 3. It's a lot to do here. 120 off 60 deliveries.
Yeah, it's a tall order, but while Madsen's at the crease, building a partnership with Guest, they still have batting a little bit further down the order. So they're still in the game, but I think with the run rate creeping up above 12s, it does make it quite difficult. They've got to get regular boundaries and also run quite a lot of 2s.
Wells in, Madsen comes across, looks to go over his head, scoops it for 1, but doesn't make good contact there at all. You see Madsen play that shot a lot where he gets deep in his crease and plays it over the keeper's head. Trying to use that hard length that Wells gets and the extra bit of bounce he gets as well. In Wells, and Guest sweeps out to the fielder. Out at deep square leg for a single.
Yeah, you remember Madsen came in to do a few sessions with the Thunder Girls, didn't he? And, about innovation and looking to score and being really creative, and wonderful cricketer.
In and goes down the ground, straight to the long on. Luke Wood doing the work out there.
Yeah, Wayne Marsden played a lot of hockey, didn't he, when he was young? So really strong wrist, and he's able to get balls into areas. Traditional sweeps, innovative sweeps too.
Wells in, and Guess punts that down the ground straight to Luke Wood. A great catch running in off the boundary, and Wells gets his first. Derbyshire 62 for 4. They're in trouble here as Guess tries to up the tempo, but he's going back to the changing rooms.
Yeah, that's the challenge, isn't it? Trying to up the tempo, and Wells' balls, it didn't really stick in the pitch. He just kind of rushed on. He got a little bit big on Guest and quite high up the bat. Didn't quite get the ball in the middle. He's looking to up the tempo. He's looking to go a little bit squarer than he did then, which is a good indication that the ball's hit quite high up the bat and quite straight. But a comfortable catch for Luke Wood, so he's got the catch to add to his wickets that he's taken so far. And Derbyshire is 62 for 4, and Madsen, the experienced Madsen, has just been joined by his T20 captain Sami Patel, a very experienced cricketer that will want to get his teeth into this bowling attack.
Wells in. Patel works that off his pads for a single. Yeah, there's a lot of years experience out there, isn't there?
There is, and whilst these two are in the middle, if they can build a partnership, Derbyshire will believe they're still in this game, even though they require 116 off just 55 deliveries.
Wells in, and Madsen works this off the back foot, cuts it through to point, and it's a lovely piece of work there by Matty Hurst, the sub-fielder, for no run. That's another fantastic over from Luke Wells, 4 from it and a wicket. It's been 2 excellent overs from Luke Wells.
Certainly has, and Wells is worth his weight in gold to this Lancashire Lightning team. With the bat, he strikes the ball, doesn't he, off the front foot, and also pulls very, very well. But also is a very useful performer with the ball. He's tall, doesn't spin the ball a great deal, but what he does do, because of his height, is the ball just bounces that little bit higher, and that causes some discomfort for the opposition batters as Blatherick comes on from the Jimmy Anderson end.
Well, he's got a deep square, fine third, deep point. Bowls a short ball to Patel first up, who almost squares him up and plays a tennis shot down into the ground. Doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, bowling the heavy ball from ball 1 is Jack Blatherwick.
Certainly a heavy ball, and I think it's slightly surprised over the experienced Sami Patel, but it's certainly, his eyes will be wide open now.
Yeah, it's Blatherwick. Comes in, bowls another heavy ball into the pitch and worked out to square leg for a single. Really hitting that hard length is Blatherwick. Just a little change in the field here as he sends out a deep mid-wicket as well. So there's deep mid-wicket, deep square, fine, third and cover. Suggests he's going to bowl into the wicket here to Wayne Madsen, who's 37 from 32. He needs to get a move on if he wants to give Derbyshire a chance here. Blatherwick in, and Madsen works that to mid-wicket for a single. Lancashire will be happy with that.
I've watched Blatherwick bowl a few times this year here at Emirates Old Trafford in T20 cricket, and he has found the length to bowl on this type of pitch. He generally bowls back of a length with the odd bouncer, but back of a length into probably that mid-drift stroke, just rib height, and it's difficult to get the ball away because it just rushes on if you hit the pitch and bend your back.
In, and Patel gets a thin inside edge, works that nicely down to fine. He's guided that well down the leg side as Patel. Blatherwick loses his line a little bit there, but Patel does well to access the boundary, and a much needed one for Derbyshire.
Yeah, Blatherwick's just a little too straight there, gone down the leg side, probably a little bit full, searching for the Yorker, and he's timed away. Now to fine leg. Patel.
In, and Patel ducks that bouncer. It's a good one. Good height, good line. Patel does well to move in the end. Otherwise, I think it would have got him in that on that Derbyshire badge. So Blatherwick, final ball of his second over. And big swipe there from Patel. Misses it completely. Tries to send that into the party stand, does Samit Patel, but it's another dot ball for Jack Blatherwick. The run rate creeps up again, 110 now required from 48 deliveries. 69 for 4. They're not at the races today at Derbyshire. They've got a lot to do off the last 8 overs in the game.
Yeah, not quite enough boundaries or twos really for the Derbyshire Falcons, but all credit to the Lancashire Lightning bowling unit. I think they've bowled incredibly well and accurately this afternoon.
Wells going for his third on the bounce, and a big slog sweep from Madsen, but misses it completely. It stays low, and Madsen stays in his pose for a while. The first one that hasn't had that big bounce from Wells. A little bit uneven bounce here from Wells. As Madsen goes big for the hotel. And is the back row, is it taken? No, it's dropped. He had an opportunity, did the man in the turquoise jacket. But it's not got strong hands there in the crowd. It's gone through them. And Wayne Madsen makes his first maximum of the day.
Yeah, it's a good shot that from Madsen. Rocks back into his crease, hits that ball hard into the last row.
Wells in, Madsen goes again. Has he cleared it? Yes, he has. He's found the ropes again. Here's Madsen. It's another drop in the crowd. 2 back-to-back sixes. Madsen brings up his 50 off just 36 deliveries. And it looks like this is the over he's targeting.
It's a good shot this, isn't it? Because he knows it's going to be a little bit fuller because he's just hitting for 6 off a short ball. So it's a bit fuller. It's a good shot. Real good contact down the ground.
In, and Madsen goes off the back foot into the offside for a single. Wells bowls that well into the pitch and a little bit wider. It's been an expensive over so far from Wells, who's bowled really well up until this point, but he's third on the bounce, which is unusual in T20. In, and Patel works that down to long on for a single. Sometimes the danger, isn't it, when you give a bowler one too many overs on the bounce. It's taken Wayne Madsen a while to figure out how to access a boundary off Wells. But he's found 2 this over with 1 delivery remaining. Madsen goes for the big drive, but yorked by Wells. Just gets a bat on it in the end. And they'll come through for a single. 84 for 4 at Derbyshire off 13 overs. Madsen brought up his 50 there in style with 2 sixes into the party stand, 1 down long on. Still a lot of work to do. We need to see more of that from Madsen if Derbyshire want a chance here. 95 required off 42.
Just to touch on the point you mentioned there around maybe 1 over too long, from a captaincy perspective, it's a real gut feel. It's an intuitive feel that you get, and sometimes your brain's saying, keep backing this bowler, because they're bowling well, but your gut feel is telling you actually maybe pull out now, because actually they're just beginning to line up that ball, and it's a fine line, isn't it?
Absolutely. As Green comes in slower and driven down the ground for a single, and sometimes it pulls off and sometimes it doesn't. That's the
thing,
nature of T20 cricket. You've got to trust your gut as a captain.
I think this lad's a good cricketer, you know, Chris Green. a lot of time for this fella. He trains really specifically and smartly, wants to know everything about the game, very specific, and I think he's a pretty good bowler, and he's becoming a really good batter in that middle order, and good cricketer.
Green in and worked off the back foot for a no run by Patel. And he's really wearing the red rose proud, is Chris Green as well. Played in the county championship game, got his maiden test 100.
100, didn't he? Yeah. Good cricketer.
I think he'll come back for many years, will Chris Green here. And it's in, and Patel drives that down the ground. Who's under it? Matty Hurst is under it. It's taken by Phil Salt. It's a great catch. And just as you're giving him so much praise, Chris Green comes up with the goods. Another wicket for Lancashire, and takes the wicket of the experienced Samit Patel.
Yeah, Patel has made his mind up. He's going to go here, hasn't he? He's created a little bit of room for himself and tried to go on over Salt at long on. Unfortunately doesn't, drags it. Salt runs round, judges the catch really well, and ends up taking quite a comfortable catch, and that gives Green his first wicket, 1 for 9 off 1.3, and they're in trouble now. 85 for 5, 94 runs required off just 39 deliveries by this Derbyshire Falcons team. They do have 5 wickets in hand, but it's certainly looking like a tall order at this stage of the game.
It's a tough boundary to access as well, although Chris Green's bowling off spin and it's hitting with the spin. You're hitting against the wind here at Emirates Old Trafford. We've seen a lot of boundaries clear the Hilton Hotel, but the party stand, you're hitting against the wind, so you've got to get all of it. If you don't, it hangs up in the air, which we saw then. Chris Green in and driven down the ground to Phil Salt for a single.
Yeah, it's a good point, isn't it? Because it's a bit of a challenge, isn't it? Because you're quite taught from a coaching perspective to go with the spin as you're a youngster and play percentage cricket, but you go with the spin and you're going against the wind if you go in the air. So if you're going with the spin, hit it hard on the ground here, to that side of the ground, and you hit in the air the other side and get the carry of the wind. Yeah, Whiteley's in. Ooh.
Punch straight to Jennings at cover. It's a fuller delivery by Green. Tries to give himself room, does Whiteley, to get up and over that offside, but straight into the hands of Keaton Jennings. It's another wicket for Chris Green. It's turning into quite a destructive over.
Certainly is, and that's the wicket of Madsen, the experienced Madsen. So just in the last few balls, Samit Patel, the experienced captain of Derbyshire Falcons, and Wayne Madsen, the experienced cricketer, has also departed the crease, and that means that, we said before, they're in a little spot of trouble. Our Derbyshire Falcons, they certainly are now 86 for 6 with Chappell at the crease, now on 0, yet to face a ball, and Whiteley's only faced 1 ball. So we've got 2 new batters at the crease also. Chris Green, 2 wickets in that over, 2 for 10 off his 1.5 overs so far, and he's beginning to orchestrate play at the moment. We're just making a few fine adjustments in the field, and he's the top of his mark is ready to come into bowl to Chappell.
And Chappell pulls that down to log on for a single. Ends up being a low full toss in the end to finish his over, but it's a brilliant spell of 2 overs there from Chris Green. 2 wickets in the over, and he really has put Lancashire on the front foot here.
He certainly has. He just loves the game, doesn't he? He loves playing for the Red Rose. Really important for Chris Green and Lancashire, this partnership that's beginning to form with Chris and the club. And I think he's, as I said before, a very good cricketer, and he's doing a good job in T20 cricket, and also as Phoebe Graham shared earlier on, he's got his maiden 100 in the county championship just a few days ago. down at Chesterfield against Derbyshire. Good afternoon, Scott.
Hello.
You're here again. Have you been having a little bite to eat?
I've been having a lie down. It's been far too eventful. Too carried away. Here's Jack Blatherwick in and balls. That's pushed away by Chappell. And Blatherwick, he's far too energetic for my liking. He's gone leaping away to his left off his own bowling to stop it, and there's no run. It's been one of those types of days, hasn't it?
It has. Yeah. Been a very busy day today. On and off with rain.
Yep.
Interview here, interview there.
Yeah.
Commentating here, commentating there. You know.
2 wickets in 2 balls.
2 wickets in 2.
Forgot about that. 87 for 6. Blatherwick sets off and balls to Chappell. He's in and over the wicket, and that's worked up towards the leg side where Luke Wood fields, and there is 1 run. I've got to say, I mean, for the men here, they were playing last night at Northamptonshire. I think it was like 3 in the morning they got back to Old Trafford, and then to kind of spin that. I mean, I'm being a bit mischievous by saying Liam Livingston's pulled a hamstring injury. It's hardly the most ideal preparation for a game, is it?
No, I agree. Yeah.
And they've spun it round, quick turnaround, and put in a terrific performance.
Yeah, completely agree.
88 for 6. Here is Blatherwick over the wicket, balls to Whiteley. Clipped away out towards the leg side for a single. Ross Whiteley moves to 2. Derbyshire, I hope the M6 is more kind to Derbyshire than it was to us last night, because Derbyshire are heading back down to Chesterfield today. Well, I hope the roads are better, because they're playing Yorkshire at Chesterfield tomorrow. So they've got quite a quick turnaround, albeit not quite as late a finish as Lancashire had last night. Still a pretty quick turnaround. Blatherwick to Chappell. It's short, and is it a little leg side? No, it's okay. It's a good ball. Good short ball by Blatherwick, but 1 for the over, says Jack Chantry.
Quite sharp, wasn't it? That was a sharp delivery, and been impressed with Blatherwick when he's played this season. I was saying to Phoebe Graham, he seems to have hit a really good length here at Old Trafford. That back of the length delivery with the odd bouncer, which has certainly hurried batters, and he's done a job when he's being called upon, and comes in again to bowl to Chappell.
Yeah, Chappell's on 2. Here is Blatherwick in, balls, step to the leg side again, drives the ball down towards long on for a single, moves to 3, 90 for 6. So yeah, Derbyshire have got Yorkshire tomorrow at Chesterfield. That'll be lively.
Yeah, it will.
5,000 in the ground.
Yeah, it certainly will be.
The bars will be popular there.
The bars and the ice cream, man.
You know, there's a lovely little train that goes around the edge of the ground at Chesterfield. Puffing Billy. Puffing Billy will be busy tomorrow.
Well,
90 for 6, 1 ball after the 15th. Whiteley's on 2. Here is Jack Blatherwick in and balls, and just dropped into the onside by Whiteley, and Blatherwick he's a bundle of energy, and he's run in really hard and bowled very, very well here for Lancashire. He's bowled 3 overs for 15. There are 30 balls left, 89 runs required. We're back here as well tomorrow for a T20 Blast fixture as Lancashire Thunder, who are still in with a little sneak of a chance of qualifying. They've got a game here tomorrow, so we'll bring you commentary of that on both Lancs TV and the BBC Sport website and app. They welcome, I said the Bears, Warwickshire, but I think they are known as the Bears in the T20 format. So 1 o'clock start here tomorrow at Emirates Old Trafford for the Thunder Bears game. That's Chris Green starts over number 16, 90 for 6. Green in and bowling, and Chappell on the reverse, plays a nice reverse sweep, and Jones with a throw in towards the keeper's end, and they've come back for 2. Chappell moves on to 5 with that, 92 for 6, so it's 87 to win from 29.
Good shot that from Chappell. I know it's a premeditated shot, but he got the length there, and he could put away, but also pushed the first run hard to turn that into 2 well-placed 2 runs.
It's Green to Chappell, turned into the onside. Keaton Jennings does very well, low down to his right, fielding on a pitch that's been protected for a game in the future. A bit of hard fall for Jennings. Stops the ball low to his right. Green twirls in again, reverse once more, bit of bounce there for Green. Chappell on the reverse, swatting the ball down into the ground and getting through for a single. He moves to 6, 93 for 6.
does get that little bit of bounce occasionally, Green, because he's delivering from such a high point of release. A tall fella, and occasionally gets the ball to grip, but does get some bounce, sometimes surprise bounce.
Halfway through the 16th over, just brought man in towards backward point inside the circle. Oh, well, that's a stop by Hurst down in the end, short, very fine short third man.
On that.
But I was looking to see if it could come off anything. It hasn't. Yeah. No, byes have been given.
That's really gripped, hasn't it?
As you say, at one point he does get that ball to bounce as well, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Which here for spinners is, I guess it's just as big a weapon for them as turn.
Yeah, definitely. All dismissals are still in play, aren't they? So if you ball straight and you get the ball to bounce.
2 for 14 for Chris Green. In he comes and bowls to Whiteley. That's driven up towards through mid-off. It's Luke Wood who got the party started today with his 2 wickets in 2 balls. He fields on the long off boundary. 95 for 6. With 1 ball left of the 16th over. Whiteley on 2. Chappell on 7. It's Ross Whiteley, a man on strike. Long on, deep mid-wicket, deep backward square leg. Long off and deep point. It's heading out towards the offside, hit firmly. Jennings is there to field, out. Throw comes in. Ooh. Well, Green took the throw in from Jennings. It was clobbered towards Keaton Jennings, who's done so well to stop it. And then sends a throw in, but they managed to scramble through for 1. End of the 16th over, 96 for 6, 24 balls left, 83 needed.
Let's just have a little look at this this replay. Picked up by Jennings, thrown in. Didn't quite collect the ball, didn't Green, I don't think. But either way, I think Whiteley was probably safe. Just managed to make his ground. And just 4 overs remaining in this T20 fixture. Luke Wells coming back on. He's got figures of 1 for 22 off his 3 so far, and he's standing at the top of his mark, about to bowl to Whiteley.
Whiteley on 3. And yeah, tidy stuff from Luke Wells. They've used 1 over of Ashton Turner. We wonder whether, as Wells comes in and bowls, and that's muscled off the back foot down the ground for a single. Because of the lack of Liam Livingstone with perhaps some hamstring problem, looking for that extra bowler, where would they go to for that 6th bowler? Well, Ashton Turner, but he's only been required to bowl 1 over. The others have bowled superbly, haven't they? Yeah. Everyone's kind of all chipped in. A few selfies for the young supporters. Tom Aspinwall, his picture taken with a couple of young Lancashire fans. Wells to Chappell. And Wood trying to get round to cut it off, but it beats Luke Wood. It's gone for 4. Chappell moves on to 11. The score moves on to 101 for 6.
Chappell hits this ball hard, doesn't he? It's very hard down the ground, gives himself a base, hits the ball, it's full ball under his eyes, but gets a really good contact on the ball, and ball travels quickly to the mid-on boundary for 4 runs.
Wells over the wicket, in and bowls, swing and a miss from Chappell. Yeah, he's trying to send it over towards the train lines, I think.
Just targeting that gap between long on and deep mid-wicket, and completely forgive that. I think that ball would still be travelling.
Yeah, towards the city centre. Wells bowls, a little flatter this time. Chappell off the back foot, muscling it down the ground. Luke Wood comes up to field. Throw comes in on the bounce to the bowler's end. Chappell takes a single, so he moves to 12. 102 for 6. As we come towards the back end of this run chase, live on BBC Radio Lancashire, on Lancs TV as well, the BBC Sport website and app. As this is flat and pulled to the leg side by Whiteley as Wells delivers it from the Brian Statham end. Throw comes in from Phil Salt. And Whiteley moves to 5, 103 for 6. Bringing Chappell back on strike. Final ball for Wells today, 1 for 29. That's crunched away off the front foot by Chappell as he advances towards Wells, hits it down towards the long-on boundary where it's fielded by Chris Green. Throw comes in, end of the over. That is that's Luke Wells done for the evening. Is that you done for the evening on commentary? You having to head back downstairs?
I'm going to have to head back downstairs, but I think the graceful Phoebe Graham has just walked into the room, and she just looks like she's doing a warm-up exercises. Just come and sit in this chair.
Paul, sure, thank you very much. Lovely shirt as well. Very nice.
Thank you very much.
Lovely shirt. 104 for 6. 3 overs to go. Delilah's bellowing out around the ground. Time for a bit of a sing-song. It will be Jack Blatherwick in from the James Anderson end with Chappell on 13. Blatherwick comes in and balls. Step to the leg side by Chappell, and that's drilled up towards wide mid-off. And Fleetwood Fields, single for Chappell. He moves to 14. It's 105 for 6. Hey, Phoebe.
Hey, Scott, it's looking like it'll be another convincing win here for Lancashire Lightning. Back to back after a thriller last night.
It was.
It looked a brilliant game.
It was a thriller. It's a very good game of cricket. Northants just kind of kept clinging on. Lancashire just couldn't shake them away. But it was a good finish.
Saw Luke Wells in the kitchen earlier and I asked him about his innings. And then one of the other lads walked in and said, "Are you just talking about your innings, Luke?"
Blatherwick in, balls to Whiteley. That's pulled out towards the leg side for a single. 106 for 6.
We didn't even ask him. He just started telling us.
Just
started telling us about his 15 off 4 deliveries. Just sounded like he came in and did the job. And I think they were getting a bit of heckling from the Northamptonshire fans.
Right, okay.
There were quite a few drunk and disorderly.
Oh, dear.
And he said, I think that's where the bow came from. I don't know why I did it, but that was the reason.
Here's Jack Blatherwick in and balls. Short ball to Chappell. And he pulls it behind, or just in front, actually, of square on the leg side for a single. 107 for 6. Yeah, because he hit the final 2 balls of the match for 6. So won the game with back-to-back 6s, and then turned around and gave bowed
to the drunken disorderly. There's one way of keeping the away fans quiet, but the fans here at Emirates Old Trafford have been fabulous today.
Blatherwick balls. Whiteley goes high towards that boundary in front of the hotel. Salt's out there. Clears Salt. It's gone for 6. It's a big hit for 6 for Ross Whiteley. He doubles his score from 6 to 12. Derbyshire 113 for 6.
It's a nice strike down the ground by Whiteley. It just keeps going. There's a big breeze here at Emirates Old Trafford, and it's hit with the wind. And at one point it felt like it might have gone into the hands of Phil Salt, but it kept going.
It did. Kept going and going. Here's Blatherwick. Balls once more, and Whiteley tries to whip it away to the onside. I'm not sure if he's got much bat on that. Well, he hasn't. Leg by is the signal from the umpire. There was a T20 game at Headingley a few years ago where Liam Livingston took a catch in front of the Western Terrace. He must obviously, he's getting stick all night, clearly. He turned around and blew them a kiss.
I think I've seen Tommy Hartley do exactly the same,
Wonderful.
but put his finger on his lips to the Western Terrace. So it must be the sweetest feeling when you're able to quieten the opposition with victory.
Here's Blatherwick to Chappell, shuffling down the pitch, and he's pushed it towards mid-off, and then through they go for 1. And that is the end of the 18th over as well. The single takes a score to 115 for 6, 64-12 left. And Blatherwick's done with the ball for 25 runs from his 4 overs by Jack Blatherwick. He's a mighty fine effort, as indeed it is from Lancashire. I mentioned this to Paul before. I mean, talking about the game last night, I mean, they didn't get back to the ground till kind of 3 in the morning, and then you're rocking up and going again a few hours later. It's a good effort.
Yeah, they've done fantastically, and the way that they've turned out as well. They've been on the money from ball 1. Keaton Jennings set off within 10, as did Phil Salt, and then the man of the moment, Luke Wood, who has won 2 people in the crowd a trip to Dubai with his first ball flyer, taking the wicket. First ball, second ball, they've been on the money from ball one, really, and it's about setting the tone in T20 cricket, and sometimes that's difficult to do when you're off the back of a long journey and a win, but they've been outstanding of Lancashire Lightning tonight.
Here comes Luke Wood, left arm over the wicket, in balls, and Chappell swings. Puts everything through that. Kitchen sink, the whole lot. But a miss, and through to Josh Butler, no run, so a dot ball to start the penultimate over of the match. Yeah, Luke Wood 3 for 14. It was carnage to begin with, wasn't it? 2 wickets in 2 balls.
Oh, it was great fun. It was amazing to watch. And he bowls so well with the new ball. When he gets it right, it's unplayable. That Yorker to Martin Anderson, it swung late. I don't know any batter in the world that would have kept that out.
His record of taking a wicket with the first ball that he sends in a T20 match. He's in again and bowling. Back of a length, that's muscled high, leg side, that's going to be 6. Well, that's 6 with a bit of interest on it, hasn't it? That's up towards the hotel again. Chappell swings and swings hard, 121 for 6.
Well, he needs to do that every single ball if he wants to win. 58 required from 10. He's got a hold of all of that. There's Chappell into the pitch by Wood. Doesn't quite get up, does the bumper. So he's able to extend his arms fully out with the wind into the hotel.
Chappell to 22, 121 for 6, 58 from 10. As Wood is in and bowling, cracked away into the offside, but Matthew Hurst fielding inside the circle. He's out there as a 12th man. There's no, in fact, Tom Hartley's out there as well, so there's a couple of players off at the minute.
I think Mahmood might have gone off after his third over, his final delivery. Something went in his knee. It might have been a little niggle rather than anything quite as dramatic as how Liam Livingstone pulled up, but we haven't seen him on the pitch since, so hopefully all good with Zakib there.
Wood bowls again, short but wide, and called a wide by the umpire. Yeah, hopefully that's just a bit of a niggle. Zakib Mahmood sat on the balcony inside the Lancashire dressing room.
But it's certainly been a change of fortune in the Lancashire camp since we've moved into the T20 format, since King Croft has taken the reins of Lancashire Lightning. It's been fantastic to see the momentum shift in this group.
Wood bowls, he's gone full and wide. He's flirting with that wide line, but the umpire says it's fine. Good wide Yorker. Yeah, since there's Liam Livingstone. So yeah, let's hope Liam's all right. He's clearly got a hamstring injury, hasn't he? Or an injury which looked a lot like a hamstring injury, but he did guts it out, didn't he? He battled on, kept going. Runner came out to help him, got to 35. But let's hope that's nothing too sinister. Wood bowls again, clubbed down the ground. That'll be 4 with mid-off inside the circle. Keaton Jennings. He's cracked a few, hasn't he? Here's that Chappell having a bit of a swing at the back end of the game. The game's gone beyond Derbyshire, but Chappell having a bit of fun. He moves to 26.
Yeah, Wood's gone slow into the pitch there, and Chappell's just been able to sit back and almost like a tennis ball swipe down the ground, like a baseball hit. It's maybe a better description. To long off as it sits up nicely for him in the end.
Final ball of the over. Wood in and bowls to Chappell. Play and a miss, and through to the keeper. That's the end of Wood tonight. Well, it's a brilliant performance with the ball by Luke Wood this afternoon. He's picked up 3 for 25 from his 4 overs. The 2 wickets in 2 balls, got the whole thing going. He's bowled fantastically well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been absolutely outstanding as Luke Wood. That first over was Luke Wood at his best. Unplayable, swinging the new ball at pace, left arm round the wicket. Just on replay here on Lancs TV, the first wicket caught by Keaton Jennings. It's the first ball flyer, and then that full delivery, the Yorker swings in, tails late. Martin Anderson hasn't got a chance. He's pumped there. And Luke Wood, the slower ball into the wicket, bouncer, straight into Zakib Mahmood's hands. fantastic threefer.
Good day at the office for Luke Wood. Final over of the match is Chris Green to Ross Whiteley, and kind of clots it away towards the leg side, and jogs through for one, Ross Whiteley. So 5 balls remaining of the game. Lancashire Lightning are on the brink of going top of the North Group. It's going to be a Thunder and Lightning double here at Emirates Old Trafford today. Phoebe Graham and her teammates wrapping up an 8-wicket victory via Duckworth Lewis Stern. Rain affected match. Green in bowls, driven into the offside by Chappell. Come back for 2.
Looks like both wins as well, but will be with the bonus point, which is always... There's no bonus point available in the men's Vitality Blast, unfortunately. Otherwise, they would have got one. If they were playing in the women's Vitality Blast, they would get one.
Bring on the bonus point. Here's Chris Green in balls, reverse sweep by Chappell, and he takes a single. Because just in the nick of time, your bonus point was secured, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we needed to get the runs. We had an 8-over game, and to get the total within 6.3 overs.
Right.
And we got them within 6.1.
Ah, time to
so
spare.
There was actually a couple of balls.
Green in balls again to Whiteley. It's off the back foot. And chopped away into the offside where Keaton Jennings fields, and there's 1 run. So that's 5 points, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And I think without that context, there was a bit of a unnecessary run out between Emma Lamb and Elsa Lister, but it was because we were going for that 6.3 overs. Otherwise, it looks really unfamiliar in the context of the game.
Driven firmly by Chappell back down the ground. It's going to be 4 runs. Green flashed out his right hand. Probably took his fingers off when he got something on it. It was hit pretty firmly. 135 for 6.
Well, it's just been a bit of range practice here for Chappell. He's enjoyed it. He's played well. He's bowled brilliantly as well. His 4 overs went 3 for 23. So it's good day out for Chappell. Just no one else in the Derbyshire camp really has stepped up today.
And here we go, final ball of the game. Chris Green into Chappell, and he's able to work it away towards the leg side for 1 run. But Lancashire Lightning complete a very good day out at Emirates Old Trafford for the Red Rose. Both Lightning and Thunder picking up victories this afternoon in this T20 double-header, and a pretty impressive all-round display, Phoebe, by Lancashire Lightning.
Yeah, that was an outstanding performance there by Lancashire Lightning, with both the bat and ball, and how they set the tone in the power play with both was phenomenal. Keaton Jennings went out, Phil Salt with intent. They took on Derbyshire's opening bowlers, but the outstanding performance for me has to be Luke Wood. 4 overs, 3 for 25. His first 2 deliveries were outstanding. That second Yorker to Martin Anderson was unplayable. And it's been a very, very professional, economic performance from Lancashire. There's not much more that you can say about it, really. It's just been top draw from everyone.
It has been a very, very good day out for Lancashire supporters at Old Trafford. We're going to get some reaction, I think, from out in the middle before we sign off. The hover cover's coming out to go and protect the pitch. Thankfully, the rain has stayed away for the second match, and thankfully, it didn't rain enough that we didn't get a game in the first. There was enough time to actually get a proper match and a proper result, rather than a game abandoned in the first game. So in the end, even though we lost overs in that first match, we still were able to find a way to play a game of cricket and see a result. The players are just shaking hands down below us. Derbyshire probably knew their fate, in truth, before a ball was bowled here today. They were they're pretty much cooked in the Blast this season. Lancashire Lightning know that victory has put them top of the North Group. So the players just shaking hands. We're just going to be heading out to the middle in a minute, because we're going to be getting a little bit of reaction from Luke Wood, who got the whole thing going with those 2 wickets in 2 balls. I think he picked up 3 in the end, didn't he, Luke Wood? So a pretty good night out in the office for the Lancashire left arm seam. I think we're good to go. Let's go and hear from Luke Wood with Fraser.
Yeah, Luke Wood is with me now. Luke, well played. That was a fantastic win. You must be really pleased with the way everybody's played today.
Yeah, I think starting off the batting, we got off to a bit of a good start and just kept it out through innings, some contributions, and I think we got probably quite a good score on that wicket, and then, yeah, we started off well and continued well throughout.
Terrific start, as you say. To take 2 in the first 2 balls, you wanted a fast start. That's exactly what you got.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty, I know, it's pretty what I try and do, and yeah, thankfully it paid off today.
Yeah, Emirates first ball flyer, you got it. We've been wanting that for a long, long time. You finally got it. How did that feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's good to help someone out, so yeah, there we go, they're off to Dubai.
Nicholas and Claire in A stand, by the way, absolutely love you, and they send their regards. So what's your message to them? Nice trip to Dubai?
Bring back some chocolate.
In terms of this win, though, fantastic stuff, and 2 wins on the trot this weekend. That's put you in a really good position, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 days have been pretty sort of physically tiring, so we didn't get back till late last night, and we knew today was a bit of a task, so no, the lads took it well, both last 2 days, 2 good wins, and now we're in a great spot going forward.
And how has this competition changed everything at the club over recent weeks? Given everything everybody's been through, to see you doing so well now in this competition, it must be a massive boost for everybody.
Yeah, it's a confidence game, isn't it? And I think everyone's taken a lot of confidence from the way we sort of started this competition and gone well throughout. And then you saw sort of the last couple of weeks in the 2 championship games that we've kind of led on that. And no, it's good. It's good to sort of see us heading in the right direction. And yeah, it's been a tough start to the season, but it's nice to sort of come back on top.
Still a few games to go, but you're in a cracking position. I think that puts you top of the table. That's a nice place to be.
Yeah, of course, we've got sort of 5 group games left, and obviously what will be with them. But you know, it's a sort of a good sort of start off to the comp, and no, we're happy with it.
Well done today. Thanks, Luke.
Thanks very much.
Luke Wood there, who had an absolutely superb game, and as I say, Paul, Nicholas Sinclair and A stand, they love him. They're off to Dubai.
Best thing since sliced bread now, isn't it? But it was that breakthrough, wasn't it, up front? The 2 balls in, the 2 wickets in 2 balls just really killed the game and knocked the stuffing out of the Derbyshire Falcons players. But all in all, I think it was a really top draw performance from Lancashire. Remember, they didn't get back up here until about 3 o'clock this morning from Northants. We had a big win last night. But then to turn it round and put in a batting performance like that on not the easiest of pitches, and then a bowling performance like that. I mean, Luke Wood, 3 for 25, Chris Green, 2 for 25. You know, did a great job with the ball to support the batters and the score of 178.
We needed, didn't we, to see a Lancashire performance which meant that they were very, very tight, very sensible with the ball. I mean, that first 2 wickets from Luke Wood really put the cat among the pigeons, but from then on, they were really, really tight as a unit.
Yeah, I thought everyone bowled well, they bowled good lines, good lengths, give themselves the best chance of picking up regular wickets, supported very well in the field, some good catching in the field, some really good fielding. I think it was an all-round really good team performance, but it would be easy to underestimate the Derbyshire team today because they've not been at the best. Lancashire's performed well, but there's still some good players in that Derbyshire team. And Madsen, 53 off 40, you felt while ever he was at the crease, they had a slight sniff of a chance, but as soon as that wicket went down, Patel went just before him, you felt that it was just going to drift away from them, which it did. So as I say, all in all, really good performance from Lancashire Lightning.
Madsen definitely the key wicket to take, along with Patel. But as you say, this could have been a potential banana skin, particularly after last night, getting home late, etc., etc.
And I think that's a really important point to make, Fraser, because actually you win last night in a tight one, play some good cricket. It's a late finish, you get up here, you're shattered. It's easy just to turn up and play. But they haven't. They've turned up to play with purpose, determination, and a really clear focus. And with that in mind, that's why they set that on 170 odd today on a challenging pitch, and then defended it extremely well.
Top of the table. It's a nice place to be, isn't it?
It's the best place to be because everyone's chasing you, aren't they? Everyone's chasing you, which is fine. As long as you're not too worried about looking over your shoulder, it's one step in front of the other. Journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step at a time, step at a time. Win the next game and the next game and the next game and see where they are in a few games' time.
But the confidence that it is breeding around the club after everything else that's gone on, this competition has come along, it's really sparked something, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really important for Stephen Croft, the interim head coach, the change of format. It's really got the club going and moving in the right direction, hasn't it? And sometimes a change of format can do that, but there's one thing I think to remember and probably to mention is there are a lot of young players playing in this T20 side at the start of this competition, getting them good wins, 3 out of 4 at the start of the competition. Now the big guns are back, they're gaining momentum and pushing on and putting in some good performances. So it's a whole squad effort. There's the stars, yes, there's the young players, and there's a blend in between that's really working well for this Lancashire Lightning team.
It's working very well indeed. Paul, thanks very much indeed for joining us today. 2 wins from 2 for the Lancashire sides today. It really has been a fantastic afternoon. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage as well from myself, from Paul, from all the team here at Emirates Old Trafford. Thanks for joining us. Here are some of the highlights from a great day's cricket.
is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary.
This is a call for hungry dreamers and hard-working self-believers. Success is down to more than just luck and talent. It's striving to be the best, breaking the boundaries and never giving up. Are you ready to become your best self? Are you ready to unlock your greatness? So what are you waiting for? This is Education Evolved. This is UA 92.
When I was a kid, there was no professional women's cricket. I didn't even think that women could be professional sports people.
Especially early on, it just didn't really seem like there was a career in it.
To support myself around cricket, I had to work at the petrol garage.
I was the only girl, so I stood out.
I'd love for young girls to be able to dream about being an athlete and it to be achievable.
Thanks to the Hilton funding my contract, it's allowed me to play the game that I love all day, every day.
We're like an engine and we need to be fueled with the right gas.
Without funding, we can't be visible. You can't be what you can't see.
As a team, it feels like we're breaking boundaries.
Thunder and Lancashire always want to put women's cricket at the forefront, and now I think that's really shining through.
It's mad to think that without the Hilton funding, like, we wouldn't be playing cricket every day, training.
Well, we could be, but we wouldn't have any money.
Yeah, true.